Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Xtreme Truth. I'm your host, Jimmy Bones. I got my mans right here, James Icon Grant.
Finally, this is Monday. Extreme Truth is going down. It's the trailblazer, eyebrow raiser, jabroni, beating, pie eating, can get on stage and do the moonwalk and get in the bedroom to make the coochie talk. Let's go.
Was that necessary?
It's all necessary.
And that's an intro. That's an intro. We got my man, DJ Justin.
What up?
Word. Oh, he always brings the energy every episode.
Wait.
Then we got legend Damian Simmons.
What's Lala evening, everybody? It's that original official one from the Bricks legend, D. Simmons, broadcasting live from the playoffs.
I ain't gonna say nothing this time.
Let's jump into current events. Today's current events is going to be a little interesting because y'all don't know what I'm covering. So it's going to be some really interesting.
It's just up in the air, huh?
Oh yeah. The first thing that I'm going to cover is, did you guys hear of Captain COVID?
About what?
Captain COVID.
Captain COVID?
Captain COVID. Captain COVID is a Georgia state Democratic representative that was at a Trump rally, and he is a big Trump supporter, and he jumped over a crowd and crowd surfed because he doesn't believe that COVID is a big deal. So people are calling him Captain COVID. This is a picture that I saw in the Guardian newspaper.
He's black?
Yeah. Unless he got a great tan.
Oh my fucking God.
What?
He's a Georgia state representative named Vernon Jones. And yeah, he was at a Trump rally, and he actually crowd surfed during COVID. And if you pay attention, how many people did you see that have masks on?
None.
Exactly. So yeah, this picture was actually online on the Guardian's website.
First of all, I'm as another black dude in the crowd helping this dude across.
You know what's crazy?
Right.
On the low one,
it's smiling about it at the same time.
They're smiling about it.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, they call this guy Captain COVID. What y'all think about him?
I think he's Captain Asshole. It's very interesting that somebody's going to go out on a limb and say, fuck it, COVID is not what it's all cracked up to be, even though that a lot of people have died. And, maybe the president is to blame, but even the COVID hit the president and people are still doing shenanigans. So it's very interesting.
I don't believe the president had COVID. He probably just had to say that shit to help get like sympathy votes and shit. Because ain't no way in hell you recovering that quick. If Christy ass was sitting up in the hospital for a whole goddamn 5 days in ICU, how the hell you out there in 3 days doing your thing?
Well, Christy is much fatter, and just the facts. He looked like, from what they tell us about COVID-19, he will be very susceptible to getting fucked up over it. So
it's not like Trump is slim. Or like
no, that's true. He's not, but he's definitely not Christy yet.
Yeah.
Oh, did y'all see him doing the dance at the rally, bro?
No, I don't watch
you
his
serious?
Yes.
Who did a dance?
Trump.
Oh God, no. I'm good.
Oh my God.
Was his head dancing or was it him?
It was him dancing he'd be like, yeah, I got this shit. Y'all kiss my ass. I'm winning this bitch. And it was funny as shit.
Yeah, I can't deal with that. Yo, Ledge, what you think about this whole Captain COVID?
3 words. 400 years.
Well, to tie into that, a lot of black people are canceling Ice Cube because he did some work with the Trump administration on the contract for Black America. Now, I have some unique opinions on this, but a lot of black people, especially on social media, which I don't put a lot of stock in, they're upset that Ice Cube has been working with the Trump administration on what he calls the contract for Black America, which is a set of policies that he thinks will help black people. But in all fairness, he reached out to both sides. He put it out there. Both the Democratic and Republican parties reached out to him. The Democratic Party said that they'll work on it after the election, and Trump's campaign said that they're willing to work on it right now. Now, the thing is, Ice Cube is saying he's not telling anybody who to vote for. He said he put it out there to help Black America. He didn't even put it out there that he met with them. One of Trump's aides put it out there that he met with him. Cube didn't want that out. And now a lot of Black people are canceling him, saying, oh, you're canceled because you met and you're working with Donald Trump. What y'all think about that?
Yo, first of all, who want to go first on this?
I'll pick it. Icon. You go first.
You got it, bro.
Well, here's what I say. There's a lot of Black people, and I know because I talk to a lot of them. There's a lot of Black people that gets on to think of jumping on the bandwagon. And for instance, if you ask a lot of Black people in the beginning, you know, why they don't like Trump, they'll say, you know, little things here and there. But then if I ever say, did you ever listen to a Trump speech? Have you ever, like, you know, when he was having his rallies or whatever, did you ever just listen to what he was saying? They say, oh, no, I don't even listen to it. I say, so basically, you know, you're just saying you don't like a certain individual because of what other persons say, but you haven't took the time to look and see what's going on. And this is one of these cases. And my cases is about with Ice Cube. You know, people just jump into the conclusion, oh, he's working with Trump, you know, and he's in a situation saying, listen, I don't care who's in power. Both parties came to me, you know. Biden's party said, we like your idea. Let's link up again after the election. Trump, you know, Trump people came to him. They said, we like the idea. Let's see what we could do now. You know, now we are hearing that it's a few things that happened after that with the Trump administration changing to the platinum on Black America plan or something like that.
Well, yeah, they changed the name. They came out with their own version of it. Trump, Ice Cube's version was the contract for Black America, and Trump came up with his own version, which is the platinum plan for Black America, which I kind of wonder if he called it platinum because it's for Black people, but I'll leave that alone.
He definitely called that platinum because it's Black. We ain't stupid. You know, so basically, I don't have nothing against Cube. If you want to do something for Black America and somebody in power say, listen, you want to hear what you have for Black America, maybe we could do something. Even though that person's in power, I don't blame Q, because it's like sometimes you got to work with the devil to get your people some shit.
Yeah, I agree. Dame, Just D, what you thinking?
Yo, basically, you can't turn your back on one person because they sat up there and went and met with somebody in a power position. I mean, to me, if he's trying to do something better for the people, it's the best thing he could have did. He's not taking sides, and he went and met with both sides. So there's no reason for it to be a back turned on anybody. Now, I'm gonna piggyback off what Icon said. Basically, yeah, it's a lot of people out there bandwagoning because they feel like he should have met with Trump's team. I'm like, he met with his team. He didn't meet with Trump. He ain't not, to me, he's not up there cooning like Kanye sitting up there in Trump's face and shit. So it's a bigger difference for me, because I'm looking at it like, all right, if I was in that situation with if I had, like, we got a platform right here where we can do this, they say, all right, Biden team reach out to us, Trump team reach out to us, I'm going to both. I want to hear what both of them have to say. I want to see what they're going to say that's going to benefit all of us. So I'm gonna make it look like I'm not going to sit there. I don't care what nobody say. Really, it's like, oh, you voting for this one? Like, you don't know who to vote for. I'm not telling nobody to vote. I'm putting down our problems so people can see what we're going through on our end. Yeah. So he probably went with an agenda right there, like, this is the problems that's happening right now. These are the problems that's speaking up. These are the problems that's sparking up a lot of the controversy and bedlam. And you want to keep going with everything like this. Let's see what we can do to demolish everything that's going on.
Yeah, I get it. Legend. I think you froze. Okay. You're moving in 2D right now. You're moving in 2D. You just got a blank
Oh
screen.
yeah, okay. I can barely
You
see
like a
some
mug
of
shot
it.
You look like a mug shot
Okay.
right now. You're frozen.
I have problems.
What's that?
I am. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now we can. Now we can. Go ahead.
So as long as y'all can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Basically, what I was going to say is basically simple. I mean, what is the problem? Who's in office is who's in office, and until he's voted out or something happens, he's going to be in office. Can we complain because the man don't do a damn thing about anything that concerns our community, unless he's getting something out of it or whatever. Okay. So, at the end of the damn day, what I'm saying, if any of us from our community or any of our people in power, they go and out this fucking guy that help us. And like the end of the day, goes and obviously, and he's not a genuine concern, community. For black people or anybody, it's not just black, anybody that's on, I guess, our and live, you don't give a fuck about anyway.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, if you could get
legend,
your audio's going in and out. Yeah, your audio is going in and out.
Yeah, I'm gonna sign off. All right.
Okay, you're gonna sign off and sign back in. Okay, yeah, he's gonna sign off and sign back in. He'll be back in a couple of seconds. All right, to tie into that, I don't know if you guys heard, it was in the paper about an hour ago. It appears as if 50 Cent is endorsing Donald Trump and encouraging others to vote for Donald Trump as well. He actually recently posted something online.
Are you sure?
Said, this is something that Donald Trump put on Instagram. What the fuck? Vote for Trump. I'm out. Fuck New York. The Knicks will never win anyway. I don't care that Trump doesn't like black people. 62% are you out of your fucking mind? So he's talking about the Biden tax plan that would tax people that make over $400,000 a year, 62%. So it appears as if 50 Cent is voting for Donald Trump.
Hold on, time out. We know that 50 Cent like to clown around, be an ass. You sure it's not one of his punchlines? Because he about to tax everybody over 400,000. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's the thing you don't know with him.
I think he's joking. I'm going to say that the motherfucker's joking.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm going to say that.
If he's not, does it really matter? To be honest with you, I think we get so caught up on what these celebrities think, and if a celebrity is voting, I know a lot of people that quietly voted for Trump, a lot of black people that quietly support Trump. When I did a show on my other podcast where I interviewed a black Trump supporter, and a lot of black people hit me up on the side and said, "Yeah, I vote for him too. I support him too." And the ones that's hitting me up the most about supporting him are the hoteps. Hey, my brother, my sister, the white man is doing this to us. Most of them are the ones that's hit me up telling me that they support Trump. So,
well, listen. I mean, if he promoting Trump and endorsing Trump and is actually for real, then hey, he doing it for his business, for his benefit. We have to do it for ours.
Definitely. Well, I mean, I mean, my thing is, whoever you're gonna vote for, just get out there and vote. I can't stress it enough. We do have early voting. You got mail-in ballots. Just go out there, go vote. Make sure that your name is still on the rolls, so that we can really make some changes in this country. Got a couple more things for current events, quick things. I don't know if you all heard, but Coming to America will not be shown in the movie theaters. Amazon Prime bought it for $125 million, and Coming to America Part 2 will be shown on Amazon Prime December 18th. I'm super excited for that.
Now, do you think they would have made that money if they did it elsewhere? You think that was the biggest profit to be made like that?
Yeah, probably. Because you got to think about it. Most movie theaters are closed right now. If you think about it, Regal shut down for the rest of the year. There's no Regal theaters right now. Most people aren't going to other theaters. People are streaming stuff on TV.
Yeah.
So how much money is Amazon Prime going to make now by getting people to subscribe now just to go see that one movie?
Well, I'm glad I got it, so I'm definitely going to see it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just D.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm happy I got it. I ain't worried about that. But
Yeah.
it's this
But
whole thing that's a good look on all ends.
Yeah.
but
125. But you know what?
But
You kind of
but
have
they're
to
gonna
wonder
make
if
more.
it
They're gonna
is.
make more off residuals anyway. So
oh
when
yeah,
everybody's streaming, they're gonna make way more than that.
And that's what you got to kind of wonder. Do you think that Eddie maybe sold it for a little bit too cheap?
that's what I'm
Because
saying.
He
I feel
sold
like
it
he
for
would have
cheap,
made more at the box
but
office.
he's gonna make more on the residuals from streaming.
Yeah, he's gonna
But
make more on the back end.
do
Yeah.
we know that he gets that? Because I know that with a lot of those streaming services, they give you your one check. That's it.
Oh
You
no,
don't get paid.
he's gonna get that.
I don't know. We'd have to check. Like if you take a look at the
Dave,
stuff that
Dave Chappelle gets his residuals every time somebody watches that. They're on those comedy shows on Netflix.
well, you know, Russell Peters, he talked about he's one of the biggest comedians in the world. And he said Netflix gave him a big chunk of money, and that's it. You don't get residuals. Louis
Well,
C.K. said,
well, depending on the person, but
Yeah, and how your deal is made.
yeah. So
you
that's the
know,
thing. I don't know that Eddie got that. So I mean, I hope he did.
you don't think Eddie got that?
I don't know.
You don't
I
think
hope
Eddie
he
Murphy
did.
got that?
I hope he did.
I will put money on it. He got that.
Yeah, he ain't stupid. He been in his business
Yeah,
too long, so you already know.
yeah. I hope he got it. I hope he got it. And the last thing I want to hit on for current events is, those COVID numbers are going up. So please be safe out there. Keep wearing your mask, your gloves. Wash your hands. I shouldn't have to say that to people, but wash your hands. Use hand sanitizer, and please try to be safe out there. We've lost way too many people. Definitely. Um,
Well, listen. Connected to the COVID-19 going up.
mm,
I work in a place where I start hearing it before shit start happening, and
mhm,
it seems like it's a possibility there could be another shutdown during winter. So
yeah.
yeah,
So load up on your liquor and weed, which by the way, weed might be legal because it is on the ballots in Jersey for this election. So load up.
yes,
Yeah.
and if it's not legal yet, still load up.
And I don't know if y'all heard, but there might actually be an asteroid that might strike Earth on election day.
That's not happening. Yeah.
No, they're saying it's
Yo,
just
Bones, you killing me tonight.
Yo,
no, it's gonna
word,
strike.
man.
They don't know if it's gonna be the day of, the day before, or the day after. It's supposed to be a small meteor, but it's supposed to strike Earth on election day.
You're killing me
If that's
tonight.
not 2020 giving you the middle finger,
Killing
I
me
don't know
tonight
what
with
is.
these hot topics,
You
bro.
said,
You're killing me tonight with these hot topics, bro.
oh
Oh,
yeah, of course. Let's jump into
oh,
sports. Go ahead. I'm
mhm.
sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no,
Go
no,
ahead.
no, 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 no. Sports is cool. It's cool, cool. Once you finish,
You're just so
I
soft.
got a quick topic that me and you forgot to even mention, but we mentioned it last week. But keep going.
Your
Okay.
Jets still suck.
I was actually going to start with them. Um, yeah, my Jets sucked this year. We lost again, 24-0 yesterday. We need to fire that coach. I
Hold
despise.
on,
I'm
wait a
not going to
minute.
say
Who'd y'all lose against, sir?
Dolphins, which is his former team.
I can't even talk to you right now.
Yeah, well, you know what's crazy? The head coach and the defensive coordinator are fighting each other in the media. Le'Veon Bell, who's their best player, was cut because he didn't get along with the coach. Jamal Adams, who was their best defensive player, was cut because he didn't get along with the coach. Eventually, they need to realize it's the coach. So, as much as it pains me to say it, I probably won't watch the team this year until they fire Adam Gase. They should have never hired the dude. Got fired from his last job for sucking at his job, and then they hired him. So, yeah, dude sucks. So, yeah, I'm giving that to you because we had our argument about our teams. I wish your Cowboys the best of luck tonight. Break a leg.
Oh, we're gonna go there. Oh my God, we're going there. Okay. All right. I hope Flock can lose the pinky.
In baseball, the Dodgers and the Rays both won the ALCS and NLCS, so they're going to be in the World Series. In boxing, you had Lomachenko versus Lopez. Lomachenko, who was on a 12-fight win streak, actually lost for the first time in years.
Ooh.
In UFC, Chris Cyborg won, I think, her first match by submission. And the Koreans.
Hold on. Who?
Chris
Chris
Cyborg.
Cyborg.
Yeah, she's in a Bellator now.
Well, no, that's not UFC. You say
That's
UFC.
not UFC, bro.
Well, MMA.
That's
And
I don't even consider
that's Bellator. That's
and the Korean
just
zombie,
Bellator.
Cheng Sung Dung Bung Dung, however the hell you say his name, got
Cheng
his ass
Sung
whooped.
Jong.
You know what?
He got his ass whooped by Brian Ortega.
That was a good fight. I saw it.
It was. He still got the shit beat out of him.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what's so crazy about?
No.
It's
It's just one of those fights because they call him the zombie. That he could just walk down people, but he kept just walking into the punches.
Yeah. What's so crazy about that fight, about this dude, the Korean zombie? Nobody could touch this dude. Nobody. That dude, since he's Korean, had to go in the military for 2 years, came back, and he's been losing nonstop ever since. Maybe his ass should have stayed in the military.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta know when to stop, man. But
he's young.
Yeah,
he's young.
But Brian Ortega, he did a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
And he proved why he should be up in that higher tier. So
yeah, definitely.
But you know what I can't wait for? UFC 254.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Khabib, no mark, and you know how I'm trying to say this name. Khabib. Yeah, just Khabib.
Come on, take your time, man. Take your time.
No, Mark and Nadoff, whatever you call him, and Justin Gaethje. Now that part, I cannot wait for that.
Yeah.
Because we know that Justin Gaethje been on a roll. Especially the last fight with Tony Ferguson, and we was all waiting for Tony Ferguson to fight Khabib. But things kept on happening, and then Justin Gaethje's in the ring with Tony Ferguson and totally demolish him. So now we're probably never going to ever see a Tony Ferguson versus Khabib because Justin Gaethje done took that spot, and I'm happy to see it.
Yeah. Now, Icon, you said it was something that you had to cover before we jump into our main events for tonight.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So, a versus. Remember the versus?
Yeah.
Okay. So this came from my idea because I thought from the pop culture side, she'll win, but I feel the other challenger from the black pop side, she'll win.
Okay.
So, fellas, for versus, who do y'all have? Madonna versus Tina Turner.
My opinion is gonna be kind of controversial. I like Tina Turner a lot. I do. But I don't know that Tina Turner has the number of pop hits that Madonna has. Tina Turner got a lot of hits. But I don't know that she has as many as Madonna. So as much as this hurts my blackness, I gotta go with Madonna.
Okay.
And it hurts my blackness so much, but I gotta go with Madonna.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, Tina has a lot of hits. Don't get me wrong, but I gotta go with Madonna.
Legend. Yeah. Legend, are you there?
Back.
Is Legend back?
I hope he's back. You have no audio. You gotta turn your mic on first.
Oh yeah, you're on mute. It says you're on mute.
You're on mute, brother.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
You good?
We got him back. Go ahead.
All right. So, first, I'm going to apologize to my first ever girlfriend in life. I don't know if she's listening tonight or not, but Tina Turner, you know how much I loved you from the time I saw you on TV. We never met, but you was my first girlfriend in life. And I do apologize. And I love your music, love your energy, love the Thunderdome. I got to actually that's what y'all see that picture on the flyer. I actually did a Thunderdome event in your honor. But let's just be real. She didn't have the Madonna, like people still know who Madonna is till today. She crossed over into movies and other things. So even controversy, you got to throw that in there. Controversy creates cash. So I'm definitely gonna have to roll with Madonna. I feel bad about that too. I'm so sorry, baby, but Madonna.
Your blackness hurts. I know. I get it. My blackness hurts too.
It does.
Just D is a DJ. So
I plead the fifth.
Oh no! You can't plead the fifth on this one. You got to use the bullet on this one.
Fifth.
So that means you voting for Madonna. I mean, all of y'all that's watching, y'all can
don't
type
start
it in the chat.
You already know. See, here you go. Starting
you
already.
pleading the fifth? I mean, pick one. Pick one.
No,
It's versus. It's versus. Look, you got to pick one.
First of all, you put me in too many positions where I got to pick.
That's the point of versus. You got to pick one. You can't be like they both hot.
Second of all, I grew up on both of them.
You did. That's why you should pick one.
So they both can get down, but I can't pick them because my mom liked both, my aunts like both. So it was just like I had listened to both of them in the house.
Just from looking at a couple of comments in the chat, I've got, let's see. My black card has apparently been revoked by someone who hadn't seen, I think it was New Jack City. Let me see. Let's see. One said that both are great. I don't know. I mean, as of right, I think from us, I think it's Madonna. Again, it hurts my blackness.
You know what? I'm sorry. I just thought about it. I'll go with Tina Turner.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Whether y'all pick Madonna or Tina Turner, they're both great in their own way, and Madonna rep for the blacks hard. So if your black card will be revoked.
I mean, and Madonna fucked more black men. She fucked more black men than the prison system. So I mean, she got a lot of blackness in her anyway. So
here you go.
Here's the thing. I guess because of the time frame that Tina Turner came from, what's true is that Tina Turner, as far as number of hits, Tina Turner had more number of hits than Madonna.
Does she?
But she just haven't sold more than Madonna. So, okay, we talking about Madonna sold over 200 million copies more. Madonna, but Tina Turner ain't no small fish. She sold over 100 million copies. So we talk about mega stars. We talk about stars that we would never see in our era because of how music is not produced. I mean, it's distributed, I should say. I'm going to say this if I say, okay, if I have to look at who probably massive audience, Madonna, but as far as if I got to go with pure singing ability, Tina Turner, hands down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, vocals, hands down, Tina Turner.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say something similar that what Michael Jackson said about Madonna. One thing good about Madonna is she know how to do great promotion for herself.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
think when you think about, she's gonna go down in history as one of the biggest pop stars in a modern day era. Third to Michael Jackson and Prince, and that's saying something as a female artist. As far as we talk about Beyonce numbers and stuff like that as a solo artist, in which we should, but Madonna solo career, and nobody won't mention this, but Madonna's solo career, as far as the arena sales, as far as album sales, they're comparable to Beyonce's.
And she's still selling out arenas. That's a crazy thing.
Well, not now, but yeah.
Not now. She does.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. Let's skip ahead to hood classics. Um, Someone that I know that, to me, this person is the epitome of what every black person that wants to get out the hood wants to be. Master P. This dude has been a basketball player, a drug dealer, a businessman, an actor, a director, a rapper. He has been a sports agent. Like, that dude has done it all. Master P is the epitome of a hood legend. He really is. I mean, this guy is a smart businessman. This man, he created No Limit Records. He was actually putting out music every week. Nobody else was doing that at that time. Nobody was dropping a new album every week from his different artists. This guy had the No Limit clothing line. He now has No Limit chips, No Limit pancakes. He has No Limit cookies. He has the music, the chains, the movies. He was the first one to really get these artists to start being millionaires and to understand business. So definitely, Master P is a hood legend. What y'all think about it?
Well, I could say this growing up. Well, not growing up because when Master B actually came out, I was a grown man, but
Yeah.
um, I couldn't stand his ass back in the day. Um, let's just keep it real. Every na 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 na.
Yeah.
Let's listen. Everybody from is us people that grew up with the New York City rap.
Yeah.
We like lyrics. Okay, we grew
Yeah.
up. I grew up on lyrics. It was
Mm-hmm.
3 albums. My first 3 rap albums. Well, let's talk about the first. The first 2 rap albums was Big Daddy Kane and LL, and the other was MC Hammer. But we don't need to talk about Hammer. But
Hammer.
yeah, but when he came out and he was pushing the South, I just wasn't feeling it at all. To me, the South was whack as shit. Their content, it wasn't relatable to me. So it was whack as shit. I will me and Legend would sit down and listen and be like, you hear this bullshit? This bullshit actually slotted.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This bullshit is actually fucking slotted.
Yeah.
So I look at Master P totally different. I look at Master P as he's probably one of the first pioneers of Southern rap that pushed the Southern rap, that
Yeah.
brought all the Southern people together and made the Southern rap get supported by their peoples. And this is how that Southern rap became successful. Because if you think about it, a lot of people, especially back in the day from the South, try to go up to the North and try to get record deals. But we heard those whack ass lyrics. It was like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Yeah.
So they created something down there. And I don't care who don't like what I say. Throughout all that non-lyrical bullshit, you know what I'm saying? We was lucky to get some gems. We was
Yeah.
lucky um to get some artists from the South that could speak that real lyrical content. And
Yeah.
and it's good to see that a brother like Master P showing other brothers how to do business and not
Yeah.
how to be into no gangs and shit like that. I can remember when him and Snoop was sitting down talking, and he was talking about when Snoop Dogg came to No Limit. And Snoop Dogg was on some shit like, no, fuck Suge, fuck this. He was on that gangster shit. And, Master P talked to him and said, listen, if you want to make some money, this is how we got to do it. And to this day, Snoop Dogg say that, he made more money with Master P than anybody. So,
Yeah. And it's something, I don't know if you saw the No Limit
That's
Chronicles, the
crazy.
document. Yeah. I don't know if you saw the No Limit Chronicles on BET, but Master P was talking about how he moved to California before going back to New Orleans. And Suge Knight approached him and said, it's not enough space for the both of us in California. And Master P went to Suge Knight and said, so when you moving? He's one of the few people that had the power to do that to him. So, definitely hood legend. And this, if you think about it, he's also a wrestler. Don't forget he had a huge contract with WCW. And then after all of that faded away, he then built up his son's career, got him his own show on Nickelodeon. Like, this dude has done literally everything that people in the hood dream of. So, we didn't hear from Legend about the hood legend. So what's your views on him, brother?
Well, just to give you one moment, SP and WCW, we don't talk about those things in 2020 something. We don't need to mention that. Everything else you said, absolutely. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like Icon said, I can't say I'm a fan of his music. He's like hit or miss. And some of the songs I think I like of his is probably Juveniles and not his. And I'm not knocking him because he did his thing. Yeah. And like you said, he was a pioneer. He's the one that kind of started that whole Southern rap to start spreading back up here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because for a good while, Southern rap, they took over. You know what I'm saying? Just might as well be real about it. You know what I mean? So he pioneered everything. The thing I love most about him, it's like you said, what he did for his son, because his son came in and his son was doing this thing in the game also. His son, I think, graduated college, opened up his businesses in there too. So Masterpiece, one of these guys that you've heard about just doing stupid, ignorant stuff. He took the opportunities and the monies that was given to him, he flipped it, and he made a better life, not only for himself, but for plenty of other people, and some of them probably don't even know it. So definitely a legend in my mind.
Definitely. All right, we're gonna skip ahead to something.
Hold the fuck up! You didn't even ask me. You just went past me.
I'm sorry, Jeff. You disappeared from the kid match. I don't know if you went to the bathroom. You didn't disappear off the screen. I didn't know you were back. Go ahead, man.
All right. First of all, I kind of wrong. He wasn't the first one to come out the South that had some hits. I mean, he hit major either. He wasn't the first one. You forgot about Ghetto Boys. You forgot about You forgot about everybody that was on Rap a Lot. You forgot mad people that came out of the South before he messed with.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right.
He took it and flipped it on his way, and then he just got big. He had his run. But
you know what it is?
Now I'm sorry. I still listen about it.
About it is hot. You know what?
But his whole roster, it was like only like 4 or 5 people that I would listen to. I mean, it was me. For me, it was like I love music, so it's just like with me, it was like I didn't care South, North, it was whatever. I'm from up here, but I love the South too. So it was just like it was open to me. Like as soon as he came out, it was cool. Like when he came out with Mystical, I was like, all right, bet. Let's see what this dude sound like. See what the next person sound like. Like he had a roster that was hot.
Yeah.
He did have a decent roster. He did have a decent roster.
That go toe to toe with a lot of people.
But you know what else too? He put New Orleans on the map too, because there was already a rap scene in Georgia. There was already a rap scene in Houston. There was no
Houston, Georgia, Louisiana. Virginia, the Carolinas. They had it locked down, but then he put New Orleans on.
Louisiana.
To bring it up to speed, it was like he took it and put it to where he ain't owe nobody.
Yeah.
So you gotta look at it that way. That's why he can be like a hood legend, because he began on his own dime, his own money, and came out on his own dime, money. Mm-hmm. He didn't have to pay for no masters. He owned his masters. He owned their, you own what he had. Even his artists owned their masters. So it wasn't really nothing that, nobody could say to him.
Yeah. I mean, he even made his brother, who couldn't rap to save his life, popular. Let's admit, Silk the Shock is the worst rapper in the history of hip hop. That dude's lyrics didn't rhyme, didn't go together, weren't on beat. It's like he just threw a bunch of words together. And
but in the South, he was killing it.
He was killing it.
And I was like, this shit is garbage.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
But that's what I'm talking about. Long it didn't matter. It got to the point, and it got to the point where you had the Sir Mix-a-Lots, you had like the Ghetto Boys, and all that shit to me was some of the dopest time in rap. You know what I'm saying? But it got to the point where they just didn't have no guidelines. It got to the point that anybody could just get on from the South.
That's what's happening now. It's like rappers out here ain't got no guidelines. They just saying dumb shit.
And that started from the South.
No, it didn't.
You didn't? When did it start?
That mumble rap shit started from Chicago. That drill music.
Yeah, okay, but the mumble rap got inspired from the Southern shit. You don't think so?
Who down south was mumble rap?
Man, listen. Come on. You gonna try to tell me that you don't think mumble rap like okay, so if there was no sense of country rap, you don't think we have mumble rap? You think mumble rap still exists?
This shit came from Chicago, bro. It was called drill music.
He's right. It's Chicago.
All right. Okay. Well, thanks for
that wasn't no southern
that
shit.
is stupid.
I can understand. Now here's the fucked up part. I can understand every word Twista say in all his songs, but these mumble rappers I don't even pay attention to.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
See, I get it. It's stupid, man.
Yeah.
Just give me some real lyrics, and everybody need to understand what the fuck you're talking about. For there could be a lyrical rap. Like if you mumbling, it's not rap. It's bullshit.
But you got to figure some people do it for the beats, not necessarily for the lyrics.
Well, then that's called instrumental. Just get instrumental.
Yeah. Yo, we gotta touch on something that we touched on a little bit last week in our after hour show. Something that was a little controversial. I talked about the show Rocko's Modern Life. Y'all remember that cartoon from back when we were kids?
Nobody noticed.
I just remember you talking about it. I think you showed me over the weekend. Yeah, like you showed me before. I've never known anything about the cartoon.
And Jimmy Bones, once you ask a question, we're gonna have to open up the floodgates on this one. Keep going.
Yeah, I know.
Here we go.
I know. All right,
all your friends, tell them to get on.
All right, Rocko's Modern Life was a big time cartoon when I was a kid. And y'all ain't that much older than me, but it was a big time cartoon. Had this characters Rocko, who was a wallaby, and they had this character named Heifer, who was a bear. It was a dumbass cartoon, but I enjoyed it. The show came back about 2 years ago, and they did a movie. And like most kids, I was excited that the movie was coming out. My niece and nephew, they used to watch the show with me. Whenever the reruns would come back on, that's what it used to look like. And I watched it, and what they did is they took somebody who was on literally 2 episodes of the entire series run and made him a main character, and then they made this guy transgender, and they made the whole movie about this one character who was turning transgender, and they would turn it, and it was about his father accepting him as a transgender. Now, I have no issues with anybody being transgender whatsoever. I don't. But my thing is, that's a cartoon for kids. I would think that if you're going to have a topic like that you should maybe have a warning in the beginning. I just say, hey, we may cover some adult themes. Because, certain parents may not be ready to have those conversations with kids yet. Certain parents might be, they might be saying, you know what? I don't want my kids knowing what a transgender is yet. Give it a couple of years. Give me time for me to talk about that. If it was the type of thing where one of those characters was already gay or already transgender, I'd be like, okay. But they literally created a new character and made them a focal point of this movie, disregarding all of the past, just to make the movie gay or LGBT friendly. I caught a lot of flack over the weekend from a lot of people because they were saying, well, you're transphobic. And I'm like, I'm not transphobic at all. If you want to be transgender, hey, more power to you. But my thing is, I don't think that we should be throwing everything in a child's face that young. Because again, unfortunately, I saw that movie before I got a chance to see before I gave my niece and nephew a chance to see it. Now, my thing is, what if I would have walked away and let them watch it, and they would have come back to me with questions? At the time, they were 6 and 5 years old. I'm sorry, 6 and 8 years old. So that would have been a conversation I would have had to have had. And I even asked my sister about it. Her thing was like, no, I'm not ready to have that talk with them yet. Not about that. And I caught flack because my friend said, well, no, you should be showing that to kids at a very early age so that they can get used to seeing transgenders walking around.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let y'all marinate on that for a minute. I'm gonna let y'all talk about that for a second. Okay, I kind of like you chomping at the bit.
No, see, here's the thing, and I don't got well, as you know, I don't got a problem with any gay people. For God's sakes, I do
Yeah.
ballet for a living.
Yeah.
Okay, but what I hate about a lot of these gay socialist groups, and I'm calling them gay socialist groups because it's like you can't have a motherfucker opinion on shit.
Yeah.
And your opinion doesn't have to be directly towards a transgender or a gay person. It could just
Mm-hmm.
be about the development of what's going along around it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so for example, you just gave us that story. And if I
Mm-hmm.
say, listen, that is fucking disgusting, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a sensitive prick talking about, no, you shouldn't say that about gay people. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying it about the gay people, but it's my opinion. If I think it's disgusting to to show a 5-year-old some shit about a transgender, it's
Mm-hmm.
my fucking opinion.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, and we got, like I said, we all got to think back that, 1998, 95, 96, 97. I don't know where were you, but
Mm-hmm.
I was working in entertainment. So through just the pipes of working in entertainment, we was told all this was going to happen. Matter of fact, they call it the gay agenda and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And we was talking about it like it's a conspiracy theory.
Mm-hmm.
We was talking, starting back from watching the Illuminati, start shit about the Illuminatis and shit and the conspiracy
Mm-hmm.
theory, the gay stuff. And what did they say? They said it's going to be a time where it's just going to be nothing but gay shit in front of your face.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're going to be making cartoons on some gay level shit. And especially when we heard making cartoons in our late 90s, talk about cartoons going to have gay intentions and shit shown kids. We was like, that was so far fetched. We was like, that shit is sick.
Mm-hmm.
What sick individual would do this? Now
Mm-hmm.
you got some of the same people that at the time was like, no, that's fucked up. Now
Mm-hmm.
there's like, no, you should let your child know why Billy want to cut off his dick and become Donna. No, it's stupid. Whatever people want to do, let them fucking do it and let them fucking do it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? We should just teach kids. Listen. There could be black, white, and motherfuckers that you don't even fucking understand. Everybody's fucking
Mm-hmm.
human. That's what the fuck it is. You
Mm-hmm.
don't need to know why a person do shit. I don't need to know why the fuck somebody want to become a bitch or somebody want to become a nigga, somebody want to become a woman, somebody want to become a man. It doesn't matter. So
Mm-hmm.
that's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah. I mean, my thing with the person was,
No,
if
not
you
him.
want to have if you want to have transgenders in cartoons, I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. But I think my major issue with it is you took a show
Mm-hmm.
and you literally you took the entire trajectory of a show,
Mm-hmm.
created a brand new character just to push this idea of that. Which again, if you want to do that, that's your prerogative. My question is, do you think that you should have like a warning label up front? Like with certain shows on Netflix, it actually says LGBT stories, which is cool because
Yeah, that's
if
cool.
that's what you're into, or if you want your kids to see that, you can say, okay, well, you know what, this is what an LGBT story is, so we can now have this conversation. But for them to just kind of throw it out there, like, oh, by the way, it's like watching Batman and Superman. You're like, oh man, I love Batman, I love Superman, and then they're like, yeah, remember that henchman he fought one time? Yeah, he's now transgender, and Batman has to accept him, and that's the whole movie now. Just like, wait, what? Like that wasn't the original point of the movie. So I think they kind of pushing that towards the kids a little bit too much. Again, I
They
don't have a
are.
problem with somebody if you want to be transgender, be transgender. I don't care. But my issue is when you're trying to force that down kids' throats and not even giving them a warning or giving the parents a warning or the opportunity to know what they're getting ready to send their kids to watch. Legend, what you think about that one, bro?
Yeah, I mean, let me say first and foremost, right? I
Mm,
love self-expression. I love people who are them and they be them, you know. They don't follow, somebody else's marching orders or things like that. They live life for what they feel for themselves and the people that's involved in their family. They live the best life that they can. I'm all for that. Now, the thing that I'm not for, and I actually hate, is whenever you're trying to force your agenda down somebody's throat, or you're trying to force your ways upon people, or being sneaky about it. Because at the end of the day, if you feel right deep down inside, you're right about what you're doing, and you're right about what you're saying, then what do you need to be sneaky about it for?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, it's like you said, you can't even have an opinion anymore.
Yeah.
If you say something about this thing, then you're cancel culture. You're canceled. You say something about that, then you're fired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you're doing these things that's not harming people, then that's one thing. When you're trying to sit up there like a cartoon, like, when you watch those other cartoons about drugs and this, that, whatever, you get little warnings. Warning, this is going to be this, that, whatever the case may be, especially if you're changing the whole format of the show and the whole show is driven towards something that's more older themed, adult themed, however you want to call it. Why would you not? Because like you said, J-Bone, maybe that's not a conversation. That's not how you want your little nieces and nephews to learn about that type of lifestyle or that type of choice. Yeah. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? You don't want your son or daughter. Maybe you don't want to learn that way if you're a little kid and you turn it on. But you should have that choice. Yeah. We all talk about parenting and, and basically like, watching our kids and watching the content that they say and do. If you sneak your stuff like that in, then how's that feeling as the parent? You haven't seen anything that I like that they put these controls on the cable boxes, I guess, and the satellites. I don't know how they do it now, but parental controls where you can kind of control. Now, if you don't have something on that's airing, you're not mentioning those things or putting it in the parental control situation, then of course it's going to fly under the radio. My thing is, you can't force people to believe your ideology, right? Like if that's not my lifestyle, then okay, that's not my lifestyle. If I want to learn about it, then okay, I'll go and I'll learn, or I'll go and I'll have a conversation. You know, all this blindsiding and shit, and as soon as you say something about it, then all of a sudden, you're phobic. You're a phobic.
Yeah.
Either phobic or huh?
No, you're right. You're right. I completely agree with you. I mean, I had the person that I was speaking to. They're actually going to be on one of my other shows in a couple of months. And their view was, well, you should love the show because it's teaching kids to love transgenders. And I said, what about what I said had anything to do with not liking transgenders? What about what I said had anything to do with transgenders? All I was saying was that maybe there should be a warning just to say, okay, because to me, that's an adult theme. Say, hey, this is what we're going to cover in this cartoon that's rated G that never covered these things before.
Okay, but Bones, you got to understand that on every aspect of that, these kids that they ain't grow up like us. So you got to look at it this way too. They out in the world and seeing this already. They seen it and coming to us with it. Now I can give you a perfect situation. My oldest daughter's best friend is a transgender.
Okay.
Now I knew the little boy when he was a little boy. Now he came out to the world in front of the world at a talent show doing Lady Gaga. And when I say killed it. He had he's 19 now. He had the operation and everything. It was his choice. There was nothing nobody could say to do. It was something that he wanted to do. He waited till he turned 18. I knew, and when I met him when it was in second grade, I met him. I knew he was gay. So I didn't have a problem with that. But when he talked to my daughter and tell her what he wanted to do, she would come to me and tell me, like, all right, Dad, this is what I'm going through with him. And he wants to do this. And he sat down with me and explained to me exactly in detail why he wanted to do it. So it was like, for me, I'm like, all right, well, I cannot knock, like you're saying, you wasn't ready for that to be out in the show, but this is basically what's out in the world right now. So you have to understand and respect that. These kids are not growing up like we did. We was kind of sheltered from it. Me personally, I wasn't sheltered from it. I had two uncles, my mom's best friends, that were gay. So I knew about the whole thing. They would teach me about it. Like, yo, this is what it is. This is how it goes. This is what we do. This is what it is. But it's like, it's not my mom didn't try to hide nothing from me.
Yeah.
The only thing she ever tried to hide from me was me listening to cursing and rap. And even with that, she couldn't even do it.
Well, let me tie it in that way. Let's just say that you had a hip hop album that you liked, and it was always a clean artist. You already knew what the artist was gonna do. You get halfway through a song and it's nothing but fuck, shit, fuck, shit, fuck. How would your mom feel in that situation? Would she kind of feel like, oh well, I should have been listening to it more, or would she feel like, you know what?
Maybe you should have had a warning on it. Right now, my first rap album I heard the cursing was NWA Straight Outta Compton.
But it had a warning label on that album.
Next to my mom, I sat right next to my mom listening to it. Mm-hmm. And the best thing my dad ever did was like, would you rather him sleep and listen to it, or listen to it while he's right there in front of you, so you know what he's listening about.
But my question is, was there a warning label on that album so that you knew what it was, so that y'all were able to talk about it before you listened to it?
Either which way, it's still either which way. So like I just told you, my daughter came to me about it. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? It's out there. There's nothing we can do about it. It's in the street. It's right there open with.
Hold on. How old were you when your daughter came to you about it?
When she came to me about it and told me what her best friend wanted to do?
Yeah.
I said she was about 14.
Okay. Yeah, but this is a show aimed at 5-year-olds. So,
Black goes on in life, come on, really? Is aimed at 5-year-olds?
Yeah, that's a show aimed at little kids. They used to come on.
Bruh,
Nick Jr. or Nick.
I knew what gay was at 8. Like, come on, man. It's like it depends on the parents and it depends on who's doing what's what. You can't sit up here and we can't not hide from these kids what's out in the world. I'm sorry, you're trying to protect them, but either which way, they're going to see either which way. It's a story out right now. It's a little transgender girl that goes to the boys' bathroom at a school. And they got to explain that to the kids, like, this is what it is.
But that's a conversation that they're allowing them to have. I think that was my issue with the show.
You have to have this conversation nowadays. You can't just hide it, sweep it under the rug like you do back in the day.
Well, the thing is, I'm okay with the conversation being had, but my thing is, like, the major question is, again, if you're gonna have those themes in a show, if you're gonna have the transgender, the LGBT themes in the show, I have no issue with anything LGBT being on television whatsoever. I encourage it. I say, hey, you know what? If you want to express yourself, if you want to tell the stories of LGBT, great, put it on. I encourage them to do LGBT studies in school. But my thing is, if you have a show where you're going to completely change the format of the show and include that theme, do you think that there should be a label on it? Kind of the way that there are certain shows on Netflix that will say LGBT stories, or this may have LGBT content. My question is, do you think that you should have that on that cartoon?
Well, certain things are not given permission to do that. Like, you got to look at it. You got to look at certain things a certain way. I understand what you're saying, but it's either which way. We don't control the masses on that.
But I'm saying
we can say that, but we can argue it, say it, whatever. But either which way, when it boils down to it, it's going to be out there. It's going to be out there. It's this day time. It's the way things are now. There's nothing we can do about
it. I mean, I do understand to a point of what you're saying, but at the same time, like, I'm just going by, call it anonymous little Jimmy, 5 years old. To me, now, even me being in high school in the 90s, it wasn't a lot of gay people in high school, but there was a couple. And I'm saying this, of course, young kids they only know that gay means you're having sex with the same sex. I don't think that showing a transgender message to kids, it's like saving kids' lives. Maybe I'm wrong, but like, I don't know. It's just a part of me feels that something is just a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? Little Billy at the age of 5, 6, 7, he doesn't really got to know what the fuck transgenders are and shit. And let's say, hypothetically, he don't hear shit about it till he's 12 or 13. Guess what? His brain is not going to blow the fuck up. Okay? I mean, people act like if kids don't witness a certain transgender or gay shit, they're going to be, it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? People do have conversations. Kids know what gay shit is. What we're talking about is, hey, this is our household. We turning on the TV and shit. Only thing we want to know is if this shit having some gay shit on, we just don't want to show it in our household. And that's about it. But then you have some weird people saying no, but if you don't show your kids, they won't understand it. Listen, I didn't understand what the fuck transgender was and all this terminologies is. And guess what? I'm perfectly fine. I didn't jump outside and kill myself or anything. You know what I'm saying? I didn't beat a fucking gay person up or nothing. You know, it's like I don't know. I feel that some entity that we're dealing with, especially in our entertainment, is pushing this gay shit. And then if anybody has something to say, hold up, time out, time out. That cartoon was definitely showing niggas balls. Y'all just covered it up. You know, they will try to say anything to say no, they gotta see it. No, they gotta know what it's about. Well, let that be my motherfucking job, not yours.
Yeah, I think that like because I'm actually looking at the chat right now, but again, I think the major thing is that you have a show that was an established show. There was already a theme with the show,
Yeah.
and again, if it was the type of thing where the show always had an LGBT character, or if it was a character that was always leaning that way, or if it's a new show, I would understand that. But you take a show, completely change the direction of a show that was an established show out of nowhere, no warning, and make the entire focus of the show
Gay
about,
shit.
well, I'm not even gonna say that, but just about the characters being accepting of transgender. My thing was, you know what, they should say, hey, you know what, there's something that maybe we should, hey, parents, this movie may have slight differences. We may be talking about some adult themes here. You may want to sit in with your kids, or again, you can just put the labels on it. LGBT themes. Again, it's the movie is still rated G. So as a parent, if you're watching, you may say, oh, this is gonna be the same show my kids watch growing up. It still has the same rating. There's nothing different about it. So okay, great. So now you have the kids coming to you, hey, what's a transgender? Now you're like, whoa, okay, hang on. I was gonna have that conversation with you later, but if they would have said, hey, you know what, we're gonna have an LGBT episode, we're gonna talk about what transgenders are. So a parent can say, you know what, yeah, I want to sit with you, I want to talk about this. But I think they kind of I think the way they did it was sneaky. Personally, I think the way that they did it was, this is the theme, we're gonna lure you in, we're just gonna switch the story. Ren and Stimpy did that when it came back. When Ren and Stimpy made the characters were always regular characters, and they brought the show back and made them gay. And to me, I thought that they exploited the LGBT community when they brought it back. When they said, "Oh, who's the pitcher? Who's the catcher?" And it was like graphically gay. Like they would they had a Stimpy put a baseball glove on his ass. It had Ren throwing baseballs at his ass. He was just like, "Oh, I love to catch your balls. Yes, I'm always your catcher." Again, this is a kid's cartoon, so I think that you have a show like that again I used to watch when I was a kid. So when I watch it again as an adult, the new season, the new remix, I'm like, wait a minute, this isn't what I used to watch. This is an entirely different theme. And if I had kids and my kids are used to watching the old one and they now watch this, I think it should be a warning on it so the parents can have that conversation.
I'm glad that the cartoons that I grew up with,
Mm-hmm.
it was they show like great masculine stereotypes. you know, you know that
But there's a place for the non-one. It's a place for the gay and non-masculine stereotype. I'm not saying
shit.
they should go away. It's definitely a place for them.
Yeah, but now shit, it's seeming like it's gonna be more gay shit than masculine shit.
It depends on
And
what you
that
look for.
and, in cartoons. In cartoons.
My thing is, if you want to have
Y-
a gay character on a cartoon, cool. Yeah, gay people do exist in real life. I understand that.
No, but what I'm saying is it's being a real push. Let me see, but
Mhm.
the male masculine what hold on. What did that message says? I was curious about the stereotype.
The male masculine stereotype creates damage amongst males.
That is the perfect example of what somebody that wants the word to be gay to think. Sorry, that's just extreme truth. You know what I'm saying? If and I'm going from my personal experience. If I walk, if when I was a young kid, if I would have saw a a feminine looking guy, doing ballet, right? And being all girly, guess what? I would have turned away from dancing and never looked the fuck back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So don't give me that. So now you're going to try to tell me something's wrong with a masculine energy? Is you for real? So now we're attacking the 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 base of what keeps like a man and woman. Remember that, y'all? Man and woman, the original family together. You know what I'm saying? So now masculine energy is a bad thing. Listen, what I'm saying is, in my childhood cartoons, we had masculine characters that we could look up to. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? We had Liar No, we had He-Man, and at the end of these stories, it was a certain type of positive message. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Could have been about protection, it could have been about loving, it could have been about anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it just seems like it's so much of this, I don't know, of this thing that's attacking, especially black masculinity. Let's just talk about that. You know what I'm saying? The black masculinity of just America, I guess, is getting attacked. Because, people want us to be gay, people want us to be feminine. We can't be strong no more. It's like you seen what the text says? Shit. It's doing another bad stereotype. It's fucked up, man. I don't got nothing else to say about it. But yeah.
Well, I know somebody asked me if they think that seeing a transgender person will alter a child's mind. I'm not going to say it's going to alter their mind, but it's going to definitely open up some new questions. Um, that again, a parent, I think a parent should be given the choice. I'm not saying that we shouldn't talk about
You're mute,
transgender.
Jimmy. Can't hear me. Jimmy, can't hear you.
So can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I
Something's
can hear you just
completely
fine.
off.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You hear me?
Okay.
Okay. My thing is that I just think parents should be given the choice. Like I think if you're going to make a major drastic change to a show like that, I just think you should be given the choice. I'm not saying that the show shouldn't exist. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be transgender cartoons. Sure, I'm okay with all of that. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be LGBT cartoons. I'm okay with that. If you want to have a gay character in the show, great, no problem. But again, to change the entire direction of a show just to make it about that, I just think they should have. Warning may be a poor choice of words. I'm not going to say warning, but I think that they should have something to kind of let parents know, hey, we're going to cover some adult themes in this episode. So the parents can say, you know what? Okay. Or in this movie, we're going to cover some adult themes. So the parents can sit down and say, you know what? Let me sit down and watch this with my kids. That way I can discuss it with them. And the person that I spoke with about this, we agreed to disagree on it, but we both agreed that, hey, I don't care if someone's transgender. Hey, if you want to live your life, great. No problem. You should be on television. I'm okay with all of that. But the person then tried to compare it to a handicap. The person then tried to say to me that I shouldn't. Their question to me was, do you think it should be a warning if somebody is in a wheelchair or handicapped in a cartoon? Because you have to explain that to kids. And I think it's apples and oranges. I think it's two different things. Because, and I don't mean this as offense to anyone. But I think that when you're transgender, I think you get a choice of the clothes or appearance that you want. So if let's just say you're a transgender, if you're a male that transitions into a female, you get the option of wearing a wig or growing your hair out and wearing makeup or wearing dresses or wearing feminine clothes. That's an option that you have. Like you're not born with female body parts. You're born with male body parts. So you're using your option to transition into a female. If you're handicapped, you don't have a choice. It's not like you're gonna say, "Oh, let me get up out of my wheelchair because I don't feel like wearing a wheelchair today." So I think it's kind of a false equivalency, and I think that with that situation, and not just with LGBT, but with a lot of other issues, people kind of have this view of, well, this is my view. I'm offended that you don't agree with my view. So since you disagree with me, your view is wrong, and you should get in trouble because your view doesn't necessarily agree with my view.
That's a lot of gay people, man. You don't agree with them, all of a sudden you're homophobic.
Well, it's not just
Yeah.
gays. I mean, I'm not because I have a lot of gay friends. It's not just gays. I think it's just I think it's just people in general that are doing that. So I'm using the whole gay thing as an example because again of what I saw with Rocco's Modern Life. Yeah, it's again I just think that the parents should have a warning. I really do. I think that the parents should have a warning with this. Now I have a question for the group. Now this is an interesting one. And everybody, the way that we do it with questions, you can either do the hand raise button, or you can type your answer in the chat. And if none of those work, you can take your mics off, and I'll acknowledge you. There's someone that said to me that LGBT people should have certain rights because of what they go through, and I agree with that because they feel that being LGBT is a minority. There's not a lot of people. They face discrimination. I'm with all of that. I agree. I'm going to ask you three guys, what do you think describes someone as an LGBT? Like if you were to see an LGBT, what do you think their appearance would be? What do you think their mannerisms would be? What do you think that the definition of, I'm sorry, not even LGBT, of transgender? What do you think the definition of transgender is? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We heard you.
We're trying to figure out your question.
No, I'm sorry. Like,
I think it's maybe that's just me.
First of all, let's stop that right there. Let's stop that.
Yeah.
Put that on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Put that on the table.
It's tying into something. That's why it's tying into the question. So that's why I'm asking, what do you think a transgender is? What do you think? Like, do you think a transgender is someone that was born a certain way and they don't feel comfortable being that or being in that skin, so they transition into what they feel is the real them?
I mean, from friends that I know, they just didn't want to be a dude no more. They just wanted to be a female because that's what they felt. Just as simple as that.
Basically. I just gave you a perfect example. So okay, it's how they feel. They feel that they want to be a woman, then they have that right to make sure they transition to that or live that lifestyle.
Okay, and I agree with that. And do you think that that they should get certain protections, like it's a protected group?
It should it should be protected as a human being all around.
Yeah,
but there's certain things, like if you're a minority, there's certain protections that you get as a minority. So do you think that they should get those certain protections?
Okay, let me ask you a question. What certain protection that we get as Black people?
Exactly.
There are certain ones that we get. There are like affirmative action.
What?
Like affirmative action is something that benefits Black people as well as minorities.
It benefits the LGBTQ whatever community also. I don't mean any disrespect.
It does. So that I'm actually tying in it. So like transgenders are protected by the affirmative action because they're a minority, they're a protected group. So my question is, being that we've described someone that is a transgender as someone that was born in a body, they don't feel comfortable in that body, they feel that they are a different gender than the one that they are born with. We're all in agreement on that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is the question that I have for you and everyone in the group. What about people that are transracial? People like Rachel Dolezal and Jessica Krug, who their argument is that they feel that they were born in the wrong body. They feel that they were born in a white body, but they identify as Black, or they identify as another race. But do you think that they should qualify for the same protections as someone that's transgender?
No. Okay, for the simple fact that transgender, they're transgender, and so we do know that it's been a few hate crimes against gay people. Okay, a white person trying to be Black. And they say they identify with being Black. Okay, but if they get pulled over and the cops say they're white face, they're protected under the white law. They're gonna just drive off. So no, now if they could just, besides tanning, if they could just get real Black or whatever, then maybe. And I don't know.
There's surgeries that you can get to darken your skin.
Yeah,
I've heard of plastic surgery to get Black features. So do you think that, again, based off of the description that we use for transgender, that someone feels that they were born in the wrong body, do you feel that protection should extend to someone that feels that they were born the wrong race?
You know what?
To be honest, on that, if you choose to be what you want to be, that's on you. To me,
Okay.
you're still a human being. So any rights that you have as a human being should stay having as a human being.
Okay.
No matter what.
But do you think that you should have
I don't care about the transgender, gender, racial, or anything. It's you're a human being.
Yeah, definitely. No, you should have certain human rights, but do you think that
Even which way they identify, black, white, Filipino, whatever, either which way, it don't matter. Everybody is saying that. Everybody's still, I say like this. You go to Germany and you identify you being black, but guess what? To them, you're American. So they don't give a damn if you're white, black, Chinese, or anything. If you was born in America, guess what? You're an American. So therefore, it don't bother me. Like you want to identify as black, that's your choice. That's it. That's what I say.
Yeah, Ledge, I'm gonna let you get to it too, because I have something with that. Go ahead.
Nah, you can go ahead and retort because I don't really have much to say about it either. So I don't want you to forget your space. So go ahead.
Sure. Well, I know Queen Diva, she asked the question. Could you explain by what you mean? I'm sorry. Could you explain what you mean by a black person wanting to be white? When I say that, I say transracial. There are people out there, like, I don't know if you're familiar with Rachel Dolezal. Queen Diva, you can take your mic off. Are you familiar with Rachel Dolezal?
No.
Or Jessica Krupp? Rachel Dolezal was a woman who was the head of the NAACP, and she was a black woman. So everyone thought she actually darkened her skin, would wear black hairdos, and told everyone that she was black. But what later came out is that she was white. She was not black, but she had actually gotten black scholarships. She had gotten scholarships that were for minorities, and she was working for the NAACP. She was then, once it came out, she was fired from her job, and she was forced to pay back money because she wasn't black. But she said, I identify as black, I'm transracial. So my question is, if someone identifies as transracial, should they be seen as a protected class the same way as someone that identifies as transgender?
No, it's a different. It's a total different concept. One is more in denial, and one is more being who you are. Most transgender people, they feel that way inside of them. They feel like they're a girl, and so they want to bring that part out. Where somebody who's pretending to be another race, that's just them being in denial who they really are.
But let's say that they feel that since they was a girl, they identified with black. They feel that they are black. What we say about that?
We could say that. You know what I mean? We could definitely look at it that way, but I'm looking at a total different way. You know what I mean? That's where your opinion comes in and mine comes in. But I hear where you're coming from, though. I respect that.
Yeah, that was the question. Yeah, I'm sorry.
And something else I want to ask you guys. I just want to go back just a little bit. I know it's your show, but since I'm on here viewing, taking my time to view, I think I should be able to ask the question.
Why not? We were going to open it up anyway.
That's so sweet. Yes. Now, when you were speaking about the transgender being in cartoons, stuff like being to little kids. Now, you guys, I'm looking at all you guys, right? All you guys are solid guys, macho guys. You know what I'm saying? You know, you do you. Do you think is it bothering the kids more, or do you think you, as a black man who maybe don't like transgender, bothers you more? So, are you speaking for the kids?
Don't bother me not one bit.
It's just a question. I'm just asking a question.
Don't bother me not one bit.
Okay.
Okay. So now that is a good question because me personally, I feel that black people already is not shown in a good light, you know, and so I always thought showing black masculinity was just important. You understand? So I have a daughter, and you know she's a legal age now, but if I had a young son, I'm just imagine if I had a young son and I'm teaching him what a man is supposed to be, and then he's like 5 and 6, and then he's watching his favorite cartoon character, and all of a sudden his favorite cartoon character turned gay. Now he's like, what the hell's going on? I have a problem with that because I want my son to get an understanding in his head of what um a black family is, what being a black man to a black woman is. So I personally would have a problem with that if my son was watching a content at a very early age that I didn't even know was showing transgenders doing whatever. So that's my thing. And this is about just for that's for like little kids.
But that on that part, Icon, that's our job. That's not the cartoon job. That's our job.
I definitely agree. See,
that's our job.
Like I think what happened is, okay, suicide in young kids has increased dramatic a lot.
Sure.
I think if it is not to do with not being educated, not being taught, there's a lot of young boys out there who feel like they're little girls, but who's afraid to say it, or when they start doing certain things in school, they're teased and bullied, and that's here come the suicide comes in. I think it's up to the parents to start teaching their kids like these things are there, it exists. But a lot of parents too is in denial. A lot of parents accept the fact that their little Johnny boy is acting like Janet or whatever. And this is where the real problem comes in. The real problem doesn't come in within the cartoon, because we shouldn't rely on a cartoon to teach our kids. We should rely on parents. So the parents are slacking up in their roles and educate their kids on what's happening in the world. And if you pay careful attention to your children, you would note that something is just not the norm, or what people call the norm, quote unquote. So I think a lot of it falls on the parents' lap. You agree?
I definitely agree.
I do, but I think I have like I have a slightly different view than Icon when it comes to the show. My issue is not with transgenders being on television at all. Not at all. Never was. My issue is changing the focus of a show to kind of push a certain agenda. Right. Again, if you wanted to have a show and you wanted to have a theme where you say, okay, we're going to discuss LGBT issues, great. It's the equivalent of, imagine you watch Black Panther. You know, Black Panther's a strong Black movie. Everybody loves it. And then midway through the movie, they say, okay, the main hero of this movie is now this white guy that is a conservative, and we are teaching everyone from Wakanda to love Republicans. You're going to be looking like, wait, hold on, what? Why are you putting this in a child's movie? Or, I mean, why are you putting this in Black Panther? That wasn't why I came to see this movie. That is not what the initial theme of the movie was. Why would you completely change the initial theme of the movie just to push that specific agenda?
Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying it's how it was presented.
Yeah, that was my only issue with it. My only issue with it was that, again, you changed the entire direction of a show to push an agenda that had nothing to do with the show, and you're pushing it with children.
Right.
So so if you want to have the show with adults, hey, whatever. Pretty much every adult show has gay, lesbian, or transgender people on the show. I don't care about that for adults, but I don't think that you should make that major change of a theme and push it toward children, because you're now not giving the parents the opportunity to discuss it on their own terms. The show is kind of forcing them to discuss it early, or at a time that they may not necessarily be ready to discuss it with their child, or the way that they may not be ready to discuss it with their child.
Would you, as a parent, discuss it with your child? At what age do you think would be appropriate?
Maybe 5 or 6 years old, maybe. But again, it would be on me to figure out how I wanted to approach it.
Right.
So if again, like, I would put on a cartoon and I would say, okay, well, this is what someone that's homosexual looks like. This is what someone that's transgender looks like.
Right.
But I would know what show I'm putting on for them.
Okay.
So that I know exactly what they're saying.
But you can't say that, because transgender or homosexual people look like us.
Yeah, but it's the thing is, it's not a matter of look. They actually took a character who was not in the show and transitioned him in the middle of the movie.
But Jim, I understand what you're saying, but you gotta understand where I'm coming from. They can look just like us, and you'll never know.
They can.
So
but
I
my thing is,
I understand where you're coming from. You think it should be forced or put up there, but either which way, they can look like normal people. You would never know.
Thank you.
You would never know.
I agree, but in the movie, they showed you them transit. If they would have said, "Hey, I was born a boy," okay, great. but just showing them transition in the movie. And then the main focus of the movie was trying to force his father to accept him. And I'm like, again, it changes the theme of the movie. Again, I have no issue with transgender people. They want to have a TV show, great. They want to be on television, they should be. So, that was my only thing with that. And I have one other question with that. And this is the argument that I got into it with them. One question. With my guest I'm going to have on my other show. I asked them, if you're transgender and you're dating someone, and that person may not necessarily know what your previous gender was, at what point do you tell them? So if you were born a male, you transitioned to a female, you start dating someone, do you feel that you should tell them immediately that you were born a male? And they were saying that should be up to the person, that should be up to their discretion. So if they want to wait, and I think that it's something you should see personally, this is my view with that one. I know of someone that was in that situation. He was dating someone that he thought was a woman. They were dating for about a month. They had never gotten intimate. And then when they got intimate, pulled the pants down and found out that woman was not born a woman. Ooh. That woman still had those masculine parts. And that man actually beat them to death, which I do not condone at all. But I think that in a situation
understandable.
Like that, I think that in a situation like that you should at least let the person know that, hey, if you're transgender, hey, I'm transgender. I think that you should kind of let the person know. What do y'all think?
I'll be happy to start off on this one. Listen, once again, it goes back to what I originally said, and I've been kind of quiet since, right? Mm-hmm. If you're proud of what you've done or what you did, you're living a lifestyle that is what it is, then what do you have to hide, right? Mm-hmm. Right? You think that's funny, leading somebody or deceiving somebody into thinking what they're seeing that you are and what you've become. You have a problem telling that person what you used to be so they can have a choice. What do you think happened once they find out about that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, I don't think the whole thing through. Because I've heard people get into scraps and fights and complain about less. I go up and down social media and people complaining, oh, you know what I'm saying, you're supposed to look like this, but you're using these filters to look like that. Or, oh, you got thick body parts on. Or, oh, you do this or that, whatever. There's all sorts of different things out there, right? And that just pisses you off. And that's little things. So you imagine you're about to get intimate with somebody that you think is one person and has been their whole life. And then you get revealed as something totally different, especially the ones that haven't even had the full surgery yet.
Yeah.
Or the hormones or whatever. Do y'all really think that's cool affair? Out of the petty shit that we get mad over when significant others hiding it from us? I mean, come on now. And just to touch back on the last thing we was talking about with the whole cartoon thing and watching or whatever, let me ask y'all a question, right? The parents, whoever, at 5 years old, because that seemed to be the popular number, right? Are you going to sit down and watch your 5-year-old watch P-Valley on Netflix? Are you going to sit down and watch any of these cartoons or episodes that sexually charged or talk about sex and things like that? That's something that the parents, or at least the teachers, want to have first, right? And I'm making that point and let's not forget, when we're talking about sexuality, transgender, gay, bisexual, lesbian, etc. That's all sexuality. We haven't forgot, right? that falls under that category. And this is why I say about it, the parents should be the one to talk to the kids about certain things. But when the kids see certain things out there in the world, they should come back and ask their parents about it. Not being taught by a cartoon or maybe by something that's pushing their agenda, not giving the kid a choice. Because I've seen a lot of these things. It's not like, you just have to accept it, which is fine. Like I said, you should accept somebody's lifestyle for how they live, but you shouldn't have to have that. That has to be your own too. Or you're just not allowed to disagree.
I agree. Now, one thing, Icon, before we go ahead, Larita was saying that she apologized publicly for her response. She was acting off of emotion. I don't even know if you saw the response because she cursed.
I saw it.
I think, you know what, I appreciate her for doing it, but it's all love here. You know, I appreciate it for apologizing, but I think it's all love. I don't think anybody took anything personal.
One quick thing, about this whole transgender thing. years ago, don't know when, but it's a story where a young transgender woman, and we talked about mm, like 1920, around that age. We talk about 1920, 21. Moved to a town, met up with some friends. Didn't let anybody know that she was biologically a boy. Started hanging out with a clique, and she messed around with two other guys in the clique. So what happened was the two guys that she messed with in the clique, they just started having guy talk or whatever. And they both realized they had the exact same experience. And the experience was, okay, she'll go down on us, but every time it was to have sex, it was like something happened or she was on her period. So, you know, one guy just got hit, the other guy managed to get anal because she said she was only on the period. Matter of fact, did it to two guys the exact same way. All right. So now they're all in this house and the jig is up. The jig is up. All right. Um, they now realize that hold up, I think this is a dude that we just fucked and didn't even know, you know? So long story short, there is like five people in this house, men, women, one tranny, and the tranny realizes that hey, these guys been talking. They think I'm a boy. She locked herself in the bathroom, right? Finally, she comes out. The two guys are angry to the fifth degree. They end up hitting upside the head a couple of times, throwing up against the wall. She's dead. So when people don't, when it just befuddles me when a transgender that want to hide who they are by having sexual relationships with straight men and thinking that he'll be fine about it once he gets to know me. I don't know, but it's that's a very dangerous valley to go through. I will because a few trannies have died because a guy found out that they just touched a dude.
Some people are offended by the word tranny, bro.
My apologies. I did not mean. Hold up. I did not mean that in a bad way. Sorry. My bad. I'm straight. My bad. But people die, and it's stupid. It's
and
fucking stupid.
They should. That's one thing about it. Like these dudes that's out here killing transgenders.
No, but
that shit needs to stop.
No, hold on. I'll say this. I don't think guys should be going around killing trannies, but it's hard for me to fault a guy. Okay, I don't care. This is extreme truth. If a guy was like, "No, I'm fucking her," and all of a sudden a dick, whatever, and he fucks around and kill her, okay, I could understand. Fuck it, I could understand.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to agree to disagree on that one.
We're gonna agree to disagree. You telling me, Jimmy? All right. Somehow you drunk or whatever. Let's say you realize you fucked a tranny. I'm sorry, I said tranny again.
You said like 4 times.
I'm saying it like 4 times, people. My apologies. Let's say you fucked a transgender, Jimmy. You did not even know it was a transgender. All right. You realize right now this motherfucker walking around with balls, right? And you just fucked this person minutes later. It's not like you had a day to think about it or a week to cool off. Just minutes later, you're just seeing balls. You telling me you might not snap and kill this motherfucker?
I'm not gonna kill him. I might be mad, but I'm not gonna kill him.
Well, you are a very strong dude. I applaud you because
I'm not
because woo, I don't know, man.
I'm not gonna call it, but we definitely got to still get to the main event tonight. But there is one thing I do want to say because I did see a lot of people saying, you know, this whole thing about the LGBT is out there, and as parents, it's going to be out anyway, and you know they're talking about it in school. I do know one thing: when I went to school, parents were given the option for their kids to take family life or sex education. When I was in school, parents had to sign off on that, and there were certain kids that I went to school with whose parents were very religious, and they didn't want their children taking sex education from the school. They wanted to do sex education themselves. So I think we should kind of give parents that same option with some of these shows.
Exactly.
And I don't even see why that's a problem.
But that's kind of hard now because, listen, it's on the street, it's everywhere.
Sure.
So, you know, parents got to start being more realistic and realize you got to start telling your kids from a young age. I know you want to save the babies, you want to let them not see those things, but it's there. I'd rather be the one to educate my kids and teach them instead of the school or the street teaching them, because these kindergarten kids are not like kindergarten kids from before. Some of these topics that these little kids talk about, we were shocked. So my little Johnny is going to go to school and learn from his little friends about all these other stuff that's happening in the street. No, I'm going to break that barrier and tell them first before it happened. That's the reason why I say the things I say. You know what I mean?
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, and as far as a transgender not telling somebody, that right there is messed up. I mean, the transgender mentality as well, it's my body, I tell the person, but it's not right for that person too, because that person has a right to know, because they're about to get in a relationship with you. So I don't know, if I was a guy and a trans, my mentality be, I'll be snapping, you know what I mean? Because you don't turn me into something I didn't want to be. You don't, I had no choice. You took away my choice from me.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
the whole point right there. That's dead wrong right there. So, you know.
Yeah, I agree. So before we skip ahead, Green Ivy had a question because we have to get to the main event of tonight. We're going to talk about relationships.
I just wanted to say nowadays you have no choice. They don't care if you talk about it with your kids now, because nowadays they're passing in all these schools, Jersey for one, where they can't, and they starting it from kindergarten, where they're teaching these kids about, you know, two dicks and all kind of stuff. And they can't graduate unless they pass that class.
Really?
That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
It's passed in Jersey City already in the middle school.
I guess that's a difference because, like I said, when I was in school, there were certain students, their parents were very religious, and their parents' view was, we're going to talk to our kids about this. The school's not going to talk to our kids about this, and our kids are not going to take this class through the school. This is a conversation we're going to have at home, not through the school. So I didn't know that they were actually forcing it through the schools and making it a requirement.
Yeah, they're showing these kids videos. Like my son, he was showing me, telling me, oh, they're showing a video about two guys sleeping in a bed together, two guys getting married, why are you forcing it on the kids? That's what I'm saying.
And that's exactly what I agree with. You're forcing it down the kids' damn throats. They're learning shit that they shouldn't even be talking about early. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? And why can't the parents sit down and talk to them about that? You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Green Ivy, real quick. How old is your son?
My son, he's 9.
Yeah. Okay. So
they started teaching him from as soon as he turned like around going into 7, like 6. That's when they started teaching him that shit.
All right. So anybody that thinks 6 to 9-year-olds should be who a 6 to 9-year-old little boy should watch a scene with two guys in the goddamn bed and think that's normal. Okay, me and you just strongly disagree. All right, let's move on, Jimmy.
I guess we all agree and disagree on this one. I thought I was going to be the extreme one tonight. All right, the main thing that we're going to talk about is relationships. I know that Legend has some things to bring up with that, just about relationships and how we interact with each other. Ledge, I'm gonna let you take it away on this one.
About how we interact?
Yeah, you brought up the idea. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Are you talking about our okay, so on social media, right? You talk about the social media thing I saw, right? Are you talking about?
You wanted to talk about relationships in general, about how can you date someone if you don't get it
right? So
their family, yeah.
Right. So basically, there was a time in my life where I was dating this girl, and thought she was like, great for me, and we got along fine and everything. We even talked about moving in together, but her parent, and I say her parent because it was her mother. I'm not sure. I don't remember where her or what happened to her biological father, and it was the stepfather in the house. That's a whole nother show, whole different show. But anyway, her mother had an issue with me, and the issue being was because not even because I'm black, because my area code was 973, and she actually, my girl at the time actually heard her say this to like an official about the whole issue and everything like that. And it would be like when this girl would come out with me and I drop her off at night at home, her mother would give her hell. And it basically got to the point her mother was dying. And I guess I called myself trying to not be selfish because I know she loved her mother and she loved me too. Well, she's just caught in the middle, catching everything. So I basically just found a way to break up with her, to be honest with you. It was something real petty and stupid, but it was the only way that I knew, because I didn't want to break up with her at all. But I knew her mother wasn't going to give her grief, and she wasn't going to enjoy the rest of the time her mother had on this earth, basically, unless I was out the picture. And this is the question that we're posing out there today. Has anybody ever had the situation where you're dealing with that person, y'all are getting along fine, but the family doesn't accept you, or vice versa? And what did you do to deal with it? Or are you still dealing with it? So I'd love to hear from everybody out there. I mean, we can start with the panel, or we can start with the audience.
Well, shit, I could start with that. I
Yeah, I
was
wanted a second on that one.
yeah, shit, I was in a situation where the mother didn't give a fuck about me, and the grandmother said, shit, fuck that nigga, and the grandfather was like, shit, I'm with you too, fuck that nigga too. Um but did it now, it didn't really affect me at all, just because the woman that I was with, she made it be clear, listen, I don't care what they say, I want you. That's the main thing. So the person that I was with at the time, you know, she just made it known to me that whatever her family's saying, that it's not fading her at all. So I really didn't give a fuck, because I ain't fucking I ain't fucking the family. I'm fucking her. And we happened to be together for many of years. So by the time fourth year came, they start getting around. Yeah, but but pretty much for the most part, you know, to me, it's going to be a time where parents don't like you, and like I said, depends on the individual. Fuck the parents. I mean, it depends on how the individual reacting to their parents or to their family. As long as that individual is like, you know what, fuck these niggas. It's me and you. You don't got shit to worry about.
We only knew the flip side of that demonic coin. So, no, I had that situation, but I listened. I didn't. It wasn't me that was the weak one. It was my ex, and basically she chose her family over myself and our relationship. So basically, I was lucky. I had the support of my family at the back of it, and I always give a big shout out to my little sister for being there that day, because I don't know what I would have done. But when it came down to it, I mean, like my god brother was there with me, my little sister and my family, and it was there with me when I had to go through it. She showed her ass right there in front of me, and with that, her whole family, because we had an argument, she brought her family into it, and my family stayed neutral through the whole thing, and then she showed her ass in front of everybody. So I just right there started going downhill. So I already knew where it stood.
Okay. See, mine was a little bit different. It was with somebody I was dating. She was black from the suburbs. She lived with her grandma. Her grandmother was very, very, very controlling. She wanted to control every aspect of her and everyone in that family's life. her mom had passed away, so she was raised by her grandmother. Her grandmother was nice to me initially when we first met, and after a while, she just started to have more and more issues with me, and I couldn't figure out why. I kept saying, well, why does she? It's like every week there was a new issue that she had with me, and then she actually told the person I was dating, you know, he doesn't really care about you, right? You know, he's probably cheating on you on the side, right? And I kept wondering, like, what is her issue with me? And she eventually admitted to her that she feels that I took her from her, that I ruined their relationship. And it wasn't that I ruined their relationship, but this grandmother was very, very controlling. So she wanted to control every aspect of her life. So when I popped up, I changed that. So she would then try to guilt trip her. When that didn't work, she disowned her. And she would actually use other members of the family to disown her. She would say things like, oh, if you're with him, I'm taking you out of my will. When she had gone through some health issues, she said, oh, I would help you, but you're with him. And I don't like him. So personally, I don't care. If I don't like you as a person, I don't care. I'm not dating you. I'm dating your relative. But something that somebody said to me that was interesting was, if you get married to this person, you're actually dating that person's family. Because if y'all have children, you're not going to cut your children off from that side of the family. So your children are going to hear that from that side of the family. So you have to really be mindful of that. So you have to be mindful. Do you fix the relationship? Do you just say, screw it? My kids will never know that.
I'm saying fuck no to that. I've been in that situation. I told everybody kiss my ass from that side of the family. If you was a real one from the get up, you stayed a real one. That's it. I ain't got time for that bullshit, because it's like I got kids like that already, and I already hear it from their mother. Their mother already got into their heads. I'm not even worried about it. So it's like, it don't bother me. So if grandmother don't talk to me, I don't give two fucks. Yeah. I did my job. I'm doing my job as a parent. I'm gonna be there for my kids no matter what. That relationship is done. She did something or I did something that we didn't agree upon, and we can't even fucking speak to each other. Oh fucking well. But as long as my kids okay, I don't give a shit. So fuck that. Nope, you ain't gotta speak to me. I can kiss all my ass and keep it moving. I mean, I'll pray for you, but that's about as far as you get from me.
He's saying a whole ass.
The whole ass? Not a
whole
ass.
Not even a corner of an ass cheek.
If your ass on fire, I may spit on you. That's about as far as it's gonna go.
All right, let's open it up to the panel. You can do the hand raise feature, and if that doesn't work, you can type your question in the chat.
Hold on, I got a question that's been bothering me for a minute too. Hold up.
Yeah.
I need a women's vantage point on this one. Well, from the fellas too. Like, what's the root cause of tensions between black men and black women in a relationship?
It depends. It could be financial, it could be ego, it could be jealousy, it could be trauma, which I think is a big thing. I think our past traumas or our past relationships, I think that plays a part. Agenda, because we might have different agendas. That's such a hard question to answer, because it depends on the specific relationship.
Well, since you put it out there, can I say something, or you want me to wait?
Yes. No, you can
sure
say
something.
Well, since you put it out there, trust, communication, and lately finances. Roles have changed. I don't. Why you went there? Why you went there with this question? I was damn. I'm just gonna put it out there. Roles have changed a lot, and this is what's becoming a big problem in the household. First of all, men is not doing their role. A lot of men, not all men, is doing their role as playing the father. So now the mother has to be the man and the woman. And then on top of that, a lot of these men out there, they're not taking care of the house anymore. So women has to do that too. There's too many changes in the household situation that's causing the friction in relationship. It does affect it, trust me, because if your finances ain't right, everything is an issue. And then next thing is trust and communication. People assume that we know what's on each other's mind. A lot of times we don't read minds. And so people don't talk and talk about things that's bothering them. Whether or not you like what I'm going to say to you, I'm going to say it. The problem is I'm learning on how to say things right. I'm learning. It's still taking time, because when I do get mad, the Jamaican comes out, and then it comes out a whole different direction. But that's part of the problem is relationship, communication, trust, and finances, and the roles in the household.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, what exactly are gender roles nowadays? That's a legitimate question. Like, are the gender roles still that the woman has to stay home and take care of the house and the man has to go out and work, or has it evolved to a point where everybody takes care of the house, everybody goes out and work, everybody? So are we basing it off of old gender roles, or are gender roles evolving?
I got an answer for you. And gender, Legend, don't start smiling yet. Here we go. I caught that smile up there. I caught that smile. Let me explain something to you. Nowadays, it doesn't matter who's working. We got to work together.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
A guy needs to work, woman needs to work. But a lot more men is more laid back than a woman. A lot more women tends to be the go-getter in the family. I'm just facing with them what's there. And I mean, you need to speak up. Ladies, speak up.
Is it more?
It depends.
Is it more the ones that you're dealing with?
No.
Or is it in general? Because I know a lot of men that are taking care of their house, that are working. You know, so again, I think it depends on the area. Well, for one, in my area, in the areas I grew up in, my brother lives in Charlotte. There's a lot of men that are doing that down there. A lot of men in Atlanta that are doing it down there. So, is it maybe the circle of men that you're around?
Wait. This is not my life personally, because let me tell you something.
Okay.
Any man who deals with me got to come correct, because I hold mine down. I don't need a man to make me. I need a man to compliment me and do what he needs to do. It's a big difference. So it's not my personal life. But
you said a lot of men.
In the job that I do, I speak to a lot of women, and we speak about relationship. We speak about these different things, and a lot of them is complaining about that a lot.
Do you think that maybe it's the type of men that they're going for? Like, for instance, I have a good buddy of mine that I used to work with, and she's really sweet woman, amazing woman. And she would always find these relationships with these men that were no good. And she would always say, "Oh man, these men are no good. They're terrible." And I really sat down and listened to her, and I talked to her like, "Well, what type of men are you into?" And I realized she was into those men that was aggressive, just got out of jail, you know, that put her in her place. And that's what she was always into when she dated. And then when a relationship wouldn't work out, she would just say, "Oh, these men are no good." So my question for those women that you're dealing with, is it maybe a possibility of the men that they're looking for? Because I know guys that are great guys that do all of those things, and certain women don't want them because they'll say, "Oh, that man is corny. That man's a cornball. That man isn't what I want." So is it maybe what they're looking for? As opposed to a lot of men.
It could be, and don't forget, it's not every man, because there are some good men, but it's amazing that when somebody see a family unit, the husband, the wife, and the kid all together, they're shocked, like, "Whoa, you still got a man in your life? Why is that such a shock in a black family?"
That's sad. That's really sad. You're right, though. Yep.
And I just want to kind of piggyback off of Just D's question. I guess, hold up, Just D, your question was, what's the problem with black?
What's the basic tensions that we have as black men and with black women in a relationship? But I know, because as me, it's like, I already know that I can talk from my 30-year-old self to my 42-year-old self. It's like a 12-year difference has changed me a lot. And it's like my 35-year-old self, my 30-year-old self was, fuck it, I can get a new one. And then like now it's like, all right, well, and as I grew from that part, it was like, all right, I see the one I want. This is what I want to be. You know what I'm saying? And like now it's like, right now at this point, it's like, yo, I'm here to settle down. Like, all right, let me just do what I need to do. So it's just like, it's a whole thing of the problem of growing from where you used to be, like, to what you are now, and seeing the traumas that you brought to where you at. So I mean, we as men, we do bring our trauma from a past relationship or anything up to the new one sometimes. Depends on how you are.
Yeah, so do they.
But they
that's because I'm getting on that one. Keep going, Just
right. All right, go on, brother.
Yeah, so it's you still, you still bring that same baggage and drama, but yet and damn still you get to a point where you got to either let that shit go and then move on and become a better person and grow from that shit, or you got to either help the person that you with grow from their trauma and also everything that came with it. So it's crazy. It's like it's not even a double standard on it, but it's crazy.
Well, if I was to answer your question, the first answer I would say is trauma. Women and probably men, but I'm just saying women because
Men too.
Yes, men too, but I'm just saying women because that's what I dealt with. Women will get into a relationship and have a lot of mental shit going on with them. And at one time, it got to a point I said, you know what? I'm not fucking with no African American women. I'll fuck with a black woman, but I'm not fucking with no African American woman. And and I had to stop dating for a while because it was like it seemed like every woman that I try to get in contact with, or not get in contact with, but connect with on a certain basis, as like 2 or 3 months starts rolling in, you start seeing all this crazy shit going on, and it's all from her drama in the past. And that's what the shit I was going through. So to answer your question, Justy, from my personal experiences, number one is trauma. A lot of motherfuckers should start going to counseling before they enter any relationship.
Yeah,
Seriously. Because guess what happens? To get with a motherfucker like me, then I'm the fucking counselor. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfair. I just want to be a boyfriend. I want to be your therapist. I don't want to be your shrink. I just want to be your boyfriend. You understand? So people get in, and they're not right. And then all of a sudden you trying to work out with something that their head not right in, And so basically trauma, and the people we choose. Listen, people, like sometimes we go through shit because we choose to go through the shit, even though we know it or not. You know what I'm saying? I can be with somebody that treat me like shit and then go and complain. But if I'm still going back to the same shit, it's my fault. So people gotta hold themselves accountable. Like, it was one time I just stopped dating for like 4.5 years because I know it was something wrong with me that kept picking the wrong person. So trauma and people, and people gotta hold themselves accountable for the people that they choose to fuck with.
Exactly.
Yep.
He kills me when he speaks. After he speaks, like, that's a period, exclamation, the whole 9 yards.
Extreme truth, baby. Extreme truth.
Yeah, I mean, it's so many different things. I mean, another thing we have to think about is expectations. We sometimes take our expectations or experiences from past relationships and we throw them into our new relationships, and we'll say, well, the last person I dated, well, they were this way. So you have one of those characteristics, so you're automatically that way. So now you have to pay for what they did, or you have to pay for what my dad did to me growing up, or you have to pay for what my mom did to me growing up because they did that, and you have some of their characteristics. Instead of saying, well, maybe that's one characteristic I have, but what about all these other characteristics that I'm trying to show you, and I'm trying to get you to understand, and I'm trying to get you to listen to me? Because communication is big in relationships. One of the things that I despise in a relationship, and I've been in this with several women, where they'll sit there and they'll be mad at me, and I'm like, well, what's wrong? You mad? Yeah. Why? You should already know. I'm not a
That's
mind
the
reader.
dumbest shit ever.
To ever say.
And I think that's
but hold on. I'm sorry.
But it happens quite often. Communicate.
I grew up with women in our family, and like they true exes that didn't do that shit, so I didn't have no problems.
Yes, but you know, there's a lot that do that. I mean, I think that communication needs to be open in a relationship. I think that you all should be honest with each other. Like, there's someone that I asked, and a good friend of mine, she thought I was crazy. She said, me and my man talk about everything. I said, what kind of porn does he like? And she was like, what? I said, what kind of porn does your man like? She was like, I don't know. I said, so you guys aren't open and honest with everything. She was like, porn's not a big thing. I said, no, it's a microcosm. You two should be comfortable to talk with each other about everything. This shouldn't be the type of thing where you have to hide how you feel because you're worried about the person's feelings, or you're worried about, oh, well, they won't understand. That things like that, those little secrets, things like that mess with relationships too.
I just
somebody got their hand up, about to open up the floodgates. Please answer.
You know when Destiny heard
porn,
Destiny heard porn, she got excited.
Yep, here we go.
Wait. Before we do, we have somebody a quote.
I already know it's about to go down.
God
I mean, M&M's, I'm ready, y'all.
No, but somebody just say earlier, men and women, they do have traumas and they do have triggers from their own relationships. So, we have to, let me see. You kind of have to be mindful of also not tapping into the person's triggers. Like if you know that something triggers a person or affects them, be mindful of those.
Legend, what? You ain't said nothing, bro. What?
Oh yeah, I got my hand raised too. I'll go after Destiny because I'm ready.
No, Legend, go first.
This is your show.
Because when Destiny starts, she's gonna start. So Legend, you start.
I'm counting on it.
Destiny, I got Legend. Destiny.
Okay, all right, Diva. Okay.
I got that one right there.
Hold on. One thing, Destiny. Just one thing, Destiny. Before Legend starts, what I would like for you to do, is come back on. Is bring your whole video up like you had last time, because when you start. So we need to see your video. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Icon, real talk.
Yeah.
Can I start promoting my wigs if I'm gonna keep showing my picture?
Yeah, girl. Go ahead.
I'm not wearing this new hair for nothing.
Well, go ahead, girl.
Let's see.
Okay. Just when you start, when Legend,
I'm on my Remy Ma tonight. I'm on my Remy Ma. Last weekend was Mary Poppins, I think.
Yeah. Well, while Legend is talking, you make sure you turn your video on so when you go, hey, you're part of the show, okay?
Okay. Talk, Legend.
All right, baby.
Let me get right.
Get right.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, I love when Destiny's on the scene.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and speak, brother. Take a sip.
Right. Water too. Yeah. So y'all need to cut the shit out. All right. First of all, carrying all that baggage from the last relationship or the last guy, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's supposed to be the next guy's fault, and now the next guy got to fucking pay for what the last guy fucking did. How was that any of the next guy's fault? That's the shit that I really be understanding. And I'm not sitting there saying that just women do it, because I've heard of guys and I've seen guys that I know. I've seen them do it with their potential ex-girlfriends or whatever the case may be.
But Legend, check this out though. But check this out. I'm just adding to your story. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Don't you know that most people that do it don't even realize that they're doing this shit?
Yeah, but you know why that is, right? That's because they bounce from relationship to relationship to relationship. First of all, that's all their condition of knowing. So they feel lost. And that's, I'm not saying that at all, because sometimes you're just so used to being in a relationship that when you're out of it, you feel naked. So you're kind of looking for that next person to come along before you've even healed. That to me is what makes the difference between a rebound and you moving on.
Yeah, so
when you rebounded, it's just because, okay, this person just broke up with me. So I need this person here. I need this, whether it's for clout, whether it's for your personal feelings. Maybe it's just something to make you feel comfortable or make you feel protected. You want the next person in your life. Okay, you ain't even got over the shit with the last fucking person. You know what I'm saying? And now every time that person might do something that you might remember of the last person, then all of a sudden you want to punish this person for it. Or you want to come up with all these rules and regulations. Like I say, half the time when I'm going on a first date, I feel like I got to bring a fucking lawyer and a fucking contract with me. Because it seems like I'm having a contract negotiation. But now, because of what the last nigga did, you know what I'm saying? I got to sit down and negotiate what her rules is before we can get a damn contract going. And most of the time, it's a fucking temporary contract. So you know what I'm saying? That's the shit that I be talking about with that. You're not even allowing yourselves to heal before you move on to the next person. Then you want the next person to sit there and pay for the last person's mistake. You should have let that motherfucker get out the door. Made that person pay. You know what I'm saying?
Excuse you. What does
Queen,
What
does
does they mean? Who's they referring to?
Wait, Queen. We gotta let you go, but we gotta keep order. We gotta keep it in order. So,
I'm sorry.
We're gonna let Destiny go, and then if you want, you could do the hand raise thing, and then we'll get to you. All right. Go ahead, Destiny. I'll let you say your thing.
I got Queen D's a little okay.
Hold on. So hold on. Let me do something special for Destiny. I'm going to count you down, Destiny. Here we go. Yes. Right now, coming from the land of Know Your Role and Extreme Truth. We have Destiny J. Where's your video at, girl?
Okay, here we go. Hold on.
See, you messed it up. You messed it up, dog.
Here you go. Here you go. There we go.
Oh, change it up.
Okay.
I'm on my Remy tonight. If y'all like this, y'all need to holler at me because I can make you one just like it.
So Destiny,
about this cash in this room.
All right, listen. Right now, because we post this up everywhere online. So right now, promote your shit right now, and I'm going to put it into a video clip. Go.
Okay, these are what I call unique star wigs. This is a part of my business. This is another section of my business here. Actually, you can get in. Can I get my number? Well, I probably can't get my number. I'll put it on YouTube, right?
You can do whatever you want to promote.
How can they find you on
you
Instagram?
Can find me, you can find me on Facebook at VDJ Destiny J. That's on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram at DJ Unique Star Karaoke. And I'll definitely tell you how to get these. If you tune in to the YouTube channel, you can see it. I change them all the time. And I'll keep doing it.
And how much does that wig you got cost? How much you selling that for?
This right here, you can get this for $150. This is top quality hair. It's like it's mine.
Human hair?
It look like it's coming right out of my head.
Okay.
You can pull on and everything. It's secure.
All right. So you got that, folks. You got all the information. Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have to give y'all a percentage to let me promote.
All right. All right. So
next week's show will be sponsored by you.
All right. So speak your extreme truth, girl. What's up?
Okay. With the question with Just D, what he was saying, it don't always have to be drama. It always don't have to be an issue. You just have to pick the right person. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna be honest. In most of my relationships, I start out as the submissive one because I like to be submissive. Like my mother and father were together 34 years. And even though they had issues, my mother had her place, my father had his place, regardless of what he did. I noticed I'll start out as the woman, very submissive, and I'll end up being the man around about the end. And it's about the end of the relationship. Once I know that I'm stronger than you, it's a wrap. That's why I look for alphas. I look for kind of men that I know that I don't have to wonder, or I won't. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that some men have weaknesses and stuff like that. Like I want to help you. I want to be your nurturer. But I need to see you as strong. But there should be some type of vulnerable side to you. I don't think that there should be any drama. If you got to battle the person that you with, that's a problem. That's why I say, look, if you have issues, hit the road. That's a problem. That's a problem right there. It shouldn't always be, birds in the sky flying high. But it shouldn't always be an issue either. And as far as I heard y'all say something about a person comes in with like issues and sometimes you just have to listen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not saying you got to be a therapist, but like, how cold are you?
No.
Like, just sometimes
I
just need you to listen. Just listen.
Yeah, no. What I meant by that is, okay, it's like, let's say if a person is hurting from their past or in that nature, what they'll do is, instead of what Legend said, taking time off, You know what I'm saying? They just jump to the next instead of, you know, getting over that situation. They might need to find themselves again, depending on how long there was in a relationship. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? They don't do none of that. So
I don't
what they
believe in that. I jump straight to the next. I don't believe in that.
well, yes, that's cool. That's great. And that's great if it works for you. But but sometimes that don't work for everybody.
The next may be your best.
It was a time that didn't. That doesn't work for me. It was a time when I was in a relationship with somebody, and when we broken up, I couldn't even go on a date. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? So instead of me trying to force myself to just go on a date and be with what I did was I took time. I made sure I got that person completely out of my system. For when I go to the next person, I could give that person a chance instead of a mental headache.
Chance.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So so when I say that, that's what I mean. Like, I'm not trying to be your therapist. You know what I'm saying? You should have dealt with this situation before you got to me. I know that sounds kind of harsh. It sounds harsh, but that's extreme truth.
But my question for Destiny, for you with that is, you said sometimes a man needs to listen, but sometimes in certain situations, certain people may be in relationships and they might want you to listen, but they don't want to change their behavior. They just want you to hear it, but they're not going to change. And I've been in situations like that. I was dating this one female and she was just like, well, these are the issues that I have. And I'm like, well, you got an anger problem. And at the time I had an anger problem. And I'm like, I think we need to work on this together. So whenever I would say something to her, she would blow up and get mad and storm off and all this other stuff. And I would bring it up to her and she's like, well, why are you always bringing up the past? I'm like, it's not the past. I'm trying to help you fix the behavior. The behavior is not changing. Her thing was like, well, you need to accept my trauma. I'm accepting it, but my question is,
that's that bullshit right there.
Yeah, if you ain't gonna help yourself, then I can't help you.
And that's my question. Like in certain cases, that happens in relationships sometimes too. They like one of the things I always see on Facebook is black men are always afraid of broken women. No one loves a broken black woman. That's not always the case. But my question is, if you're broken, are you willing to be fixed, or are you more content with a man constantly dealing with you being broken and just having to work around your brokenness? If you're broken, you're willing to be fixed, and you're willing to be better, that's cool. But certain people, they understand that if they're broken, that gets them attention. I know somebody who, whenever she was dating this dude, whenever things would go bad, she would get emotional, or she would go back to her broken mentality because she knew that would get him to stop doing whatever he was doing and do whatever she wanted, so he could cater to her, so he could make her feel better. So, you gotta be willing to be fixed.
I commend.
Hold on. That's any human being, bro. That if you're going through your shit, you're emotional. Everybody gets emotional. We have ways of showing it, but it's just if they're broken, ain't nobody. We as men, if a woman's broken, and we as men, we not gonna be able to fix a woman. She has to fix herself before we do anything.
Yes.
No, definitely. We can help. We can offer help.
We're not responsible for her happiness. She has to be happy with herself first.
Preach.
And then we come in, we compliment that shit all the way through. But she gotta be happy with herself first before we even step in. We're there to compliment that.
Preach, nigga.
I find more broken men than I know broken women, though.
Yeah,
I know way more broken men that they can't. Yeah. Case in point. Some men gotta be hard to the end. They can't say I love you. They can't give you the title. My girlfriend, we friends. You know what I'm saying? You can't show them love because they got to be a gangster to the end. How can you love a person like that? I did it for 9 years. You know what I'm saying? Without saying, hey, I'm a girlfriend, I'm nothing. And I dealt with it because I loved him. But I wasted 9 years of my life because we here now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get him to change and be open.
Listen, I can't. If somebody want to deal with a broken person, that's on them. But my ass don't got time for that shit. I got shit to do. You know what I'm saying? I got shit to do in my life as a man. I don't got no time bringing in a broken motherfucker. I'm sorry. Fuck that.
Man, like I said, it's not my job to fix you.
Who hurt you, James?
I know we got to get to Queen. I know we got to. I know we got to get to Queen Diva, but Destiny, just one quick question. What's yours? And I'm gonna hop straight to Queen Diva. But with the dude that you were dating with, that you said you were with for 9 years, you weren't even dating, but you were with him for 9 years. Did you ever come to him and say, "I want a relationship," or did you just sit there and wait for him to say something to you first?
I did. Well, what I didn't say I want a relationship, because where you would see him, you would see me. A lot of people up here that know me, when you would see him, when you would see me, you would see him. We was like joined at the hip, So everybody knew what it was, and they knew not to cross me because I don't play those games. But when it came to him, like even if he would say, "Hey, that's my friend," everybody knew, don't do it. You know what I'm saying? But when it came to me, I just sat and waited. I told him at the end, I said, because I don't have a label, I can't, I don't think I could do this. And then pops up with the ring. Now I got a fiance that ain't fixed itself. He's still the same dude.
My question is, do you think that you wasted time by not bringing that up? Because like I said before, sometimes men aren't mind readers, so in certain cases, a man might be like, you know what?
Y'all grown men. I know what it is. I don't have to tell you nothing. You grown. You know what it is.
I think that's a misconception, because I've been in situations with females where we knew it was a situationship. Well, that's what I thought it was. And they were like, well, I thought it was something more. Like, I told you what it was when we first started. And they're like, well, I thought we were getting more serious.
Again, so don't play boyfriend though. Well, why do y'all play boyfriend though? I can't get another dude because here you go all the time. I can't get another woman because here you go all the time. Stop blocking then. If you want to stop blocking. Move over so I can do me if that's the case. Don't say friend, but I can't do nothing because you right here. That's a problem.
But that's what communication comes from. That's where I say couples got to talk to each other. Couples got to tell each other what they want instead of saying, well, no. Talk. That's why I asked the question. Ask a man as a woman, what kind of porn you like? Because it's one of those types of things. If y'all not communicating with each other, and if y'all both sitting there assuming, oh well, they know what it is, y'all both gonna be sitting there in limbo all that time until somebody says, you know what? I wanted that the whole time, but I was scared to say something because I didn't know what you wanted. I didn't want to overstep. I didn't want to be hurt, because that's a big fear of men and women that nobody's willing to admit. Everybody's afraid of being hurt, and nobody is willing to admit that. So I think people just need to communicate and talk to each other. So I know we got to get the Queen Diva though.
Come on, Diva.
Yeah, we have to get the Queen Diva.
Help me.
Let me get a piece of that legend right there.
Oh,
get a piece of the legend.
Let me get a piece of that legend up there. I really had a problem when you was talking. You kept on saying they. When you're saying they, are you referring to guys and girls? Or are you referring to just the ladies? Because that answer right there is going to save you or put you in jail.
Shit. I almost want to say the wrong fucking answer, but I actually meant they is everybody, my dear. Guys and girls, my dear.
Okay, so this is guys and girls. Oh, see, he picked the right answer, so I'm not going to, okay, you picked the right answer, because I'm going to you smart, because I was so heating up, because the problem is women are more willing to accept guys' baggages and traumas and dramas and the whole 9 yards than men are willing to accept a woman. Yes, that's what the problem is. That is. Women accept more.
No.
But
absolutely not.
I agree with Leslie. No.
I don't know. Hold up. I might have to.
More.
If a man walks into a situation looking with any type of chink in his damn armor, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna get used, abused, and not even talked to at all. So
guys don't do anything wrong. Guys don't have no baggages, but guys have a lot more baggages than women. It's just that women know how to deal with things. We accept it, and then we move on. Some of you guys,
guys keep it to themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Some of you guys, they don't let things pass. They come to your face talking about things that happened 5, 6, 7 years ago. You remember? Then this, guys.
I've seen the total opposite. What guys you be dating? Because I know the women.
I'm kind of wondering that too.
I agree with that though. I do agree with that.
Yes. You guys are in denial. That's the problem. But it's okay, because unlike James, I'm gonna be your therapist and counselor. Cause y'all need me to give y'all some counseling. Cause y'all need some. James,
What?
I don't know who
yeah.
Nobody heard
What?
you.
Yeah.
I'm
What makes
laughing.
you think somebody heard me?
Legend.
No. I thought she's talking about
You acting
me.
like you have no package, but you got a whole bunch of package right there, enough to fill an airport. Don't let me keep
Wait,
on
which
going.
James you talking
And
about? You gotta be
no,
specific.
I'm talking about James. No, James know who I'm talking about. Right there,
It's two
right
of
there,
us.
right there,
It's two of us.
right
You
there,
talking about
right
Yoda?
there.
Icon.
James Brand.
Me.
James Brand.
Icon.
Oh, you talking about Yoda?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. Just you okay, Just? You've been saying you're all right. I'm gonna leave you alone. And the other James, you knew it, but those two right there, Legend and James Grant. Okay, I'm gonna be their personal
Legend
therapist.
and Icon, huh?
Legend and icon, my dear. I know you're new.
Yeah,
I know you're new
those
to the
two.
place. Legend and icon.
Yeah,
Icon right here.
those two. I got those two. And you talking about
Well,
you're not gonna be somebody's therapist?
Woo!
When you're in a relationship, you gotta be a therapist because you want
Hold up.
people to come to you.
No. I understand that. I understand that within our relationship, things will happen within the relationship. And yes, I'm not saying that. What
Okay.
I am saying is, all
Why
right,
gotta get so
okay,
close? Why gotta get so close?
okay.
Why gotta get so close?
Cause this is extreme, baby. I gotta let you know that I'm saying some real shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm listening
What?
to the shit. Go
Okay.
ahead.
For
Y'all missed
example,
something too. I'm about to bring it up.
okay. For example, okay. Let's say I'm in a relationship, right?
Mhm.
And the girl hurt me to the motherfucking core. We fight like cats and dogs, and the shit was real. Okay, boom, she's out. And then all of a sudden, I'm feeling lonely. I'm not really dealing with what the fuck I just went through. And all of a sudden, I jump to the new chick. All right. Now I'm trying to keep myself cool and everything, just trying to show my good side. But inside, I'm still hurting over this bitch that fucked me over. Okay. I'm just giving you the theatrical shit that what goes into a sick motherfucker's mind who haven't healed himself yet. All right. So imagine you talking to a guy, right? You know what I'm saying? You feeling him and everything. He's like, yeah, baby, you know what I'm saying? I like to do this, like to do that. But in his mind, he said, damn, you remind me what that bitch did last week. So that's what I'm saying.
I get it.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, thanks for
what
all
I'm
that.
saying. So what I'm saying is that a person, male or female, should not enter something new without making sure that their mind is right to handle the new that is about to come.
I agree 100%. Okay, I can relate to that. We're on the same page. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah. I know Larita. She had a question coming up. She had a hand up for a while, and her arm probably tired. Larita.
Oh no, my arm is not tired at all. I've actually been trying to remain quiet because this nice little Mercury retrograde got my, I could be kind of rude nowadays. I'm trying to maintain my ladiness, but to be, to put it straight, I had to write these things down. So as far as the way you want to be treated, you have to tell the person how you expect to be treated. And if they don't treat you in that such manner, then it is your choice to either stay and accept the buffoonery of it all or to walk away.
Yes, my word.
If you choose to stay and accept the bullshit of it all, then that's your fault. And it's not the other person's fault at the end of the day. And I say this out of experience. I was a very passive person, sometimes passive aggressive, depending on the situation. And if they waved that red flag in front of my eyes or pissed me off, and then I would trigger off. I would not trigger off, I would pop off on them and they wouldn't like it. And they would be like, damn, this is the nice church girl. No, but you took me for granted when I was being nice. I warned you. I told you this is how I expect to be treated. But once I didn't get that and I didn't say anything, that was my fault. And then, when you moving on to the next point I have written, like, when you give that person chance after chance after chance after chance after chance with no change, again, that's your fault. You need to sit down and figure out with yourself, why aren't you happy with yourself enough to the point where you're accepting the bullshit of the other person? Because you have to be happy in your singleness, know how to date yourself. That way you know what you like and what you can accept and what you expect from that other person. If you're expecting a dude to spend $200 on a meal for you, then you need to spend $200 on yourself. point blank period. And I'm the type of chick that I would date a dude, and I would always first date, me personally, always have my own money, because I expect off bat to go Dutch. Though I've had dudes like, nah, oh hell no. But I expect to pay my own way. I've actually paid for my dude if I've asked him out. Why? Because I asked him out. That was my preference. That's the chick I am. So at the end of the
You lost your audio. Marita?
But then the nice person that I am, I still do it a lot of stuff. So that's just what it is. You got to learn how to be happy single before you can expect and be happy in a relationship, point blank period. And that's it.
Marita, I'm giving you an air hug from here because I've been saying this for a long time and I've gotten into a lot of trouble for that. I completely agree with what you said. I really wish I could hug you. I got in trouble before. Legend was actually there. I pissed off an entire department because I said this. But for me, I don't buy females drinks. I don't buy anybody a drink if I don't know them. If I go into a bar, what am I buying you a drink for? I had one female say to me, well, you should pay me for my time. And I'm like, pay me for mine. It makes me more valuable than mine is. And then I asked her, what's the definition of a prostitute? And she got upset. And I said, well, you think about it. The definition of a prostitute is someone that's taking money for future services. So I don't buy drinks when I go to a bar. So I think a woman should have her own money, especially if you just meeting somebody. Now, if we're friends and we go out, hey, you drink on me all night. But initially, you shouldn't get that money. I shouldn't have to buy you a drink just for the privilege of talking to you. To me, that makes no sense because you know what? That gives the mentality when you start your relationship that is financially based. That's why when you get divorced, a lot of women are like, oh, I need all of this money. I need all of this out. You need more than what's beyond your means because your relationship started with money. So what you think it's going to end with? So, Larita, air hug. I
can say, well, for me personally, I can't speak for any other female. I have never in my 42 years of being on this planet accepted a drink from a stranger. Ever.
I'm going to buy you a drink when I see you.
Never accepted it. We ain't strangers. We're not strangers.
You want to take my
that
drink.
Don't count. That don't count. But I'm I've never, that's just me. And that's just how my mama raised me. Never go out without money in your pocket, even if it's $10 to $20. You know what I mean? Always have your own money in your pocket. And when you get into a relationship or in a marriage, always have your own money in your bank account and your own separate bank account because you just never know. You never know. And that goes for males or females because the other person can be a complete asshole. You never know with having that joint account if there is an affair that may be draining from that account or wherever. You know, and they may step out or they may leave you. And then what do you have to show? Nothing. And that's what's the problem where people are getting into relationships and depending on the other person. You have to be independent before you can be dependent on anybody, period. And that's in any form or fashion. And as far as the triggers, because I did say that, I made that comment, communication is always key. And I've had to learn that as well. I was one that kept a lot of shit to myself. And in a very long relationship that I was in, I was told I was wrong for wanting to communicate or I was shut down. So I became more withdrawn. But me being single for the years that I was before I started dating again, I let it be known from the beginning, like this dude I dated, he waited 9 months before he got anything from me sexually. And I put it out there. You won't get anything sexually. And once we do start anything sexually, you cannot and you will not sexually be with anybody else because we're going to get these STD tests before you get any taste. And that's just how I am. But that's, again, you setting the premise of how you want to be treating for me individually.
Can we hire you as the show's relationship guru / counselor?
Not at all. Y'all ain't going to be ready to handle me. Like I said, Mercury retrograde has me very much on fire right now, which is why I've been very much quiet and why I cussed Icon out. And again, I had to apologize because I felt I was being came at in a way where I wasn't able to explain fully what I was trying to say. And that's why I said I digress. But now I'm good.
Can I speak? I guess I'm going to be the troublemaker of the show. I disagree with a lot of that. Now, let me tell you why. And I love you, Snickers. I love you, Snickers.
Always disagree.
We already talked about how much I love you, Snickers. We already talked about that. Don't let me get into that now. All right? But I disagree on quite a lot. Let me tell you why.
Let's go.
Okay, one. If we in the club, if I'm talking to a dude, right? And he talks to me and he don't buy me a drink, I label as you selfish You know what I'm saying? You keep.
You gonna be a
No, son. I'm talking to you. I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty. I'm thirsty. I can't talk no more. I'm parched. I'm parched.
Are you in his wallet?
I'm not in his wallet. That's chivalry. Come on now. You done danced on my booty all night, and we know about your booty. They done danced on your booty all night, and they can't get you nothing. Please, you done touch every part of it. We can't. No.
Here's the thing. I never said that I don't. Okay. I said that I never accepted a drink. I never said I wasn't offered.
Why?
Let's be
clear.
Let's be very clear. I have been offered.
You better accept that drink, girl. Yo, you need to hang with me. I'm gonna teach you. I'm gonna change your life, Loretta.
Let me teach you change your life. Okay? I have dudes who have been chasing after me for more than 30 years. Let's be clear.
Let them catch you. Let them catch you. Let someone catch you, girl. Let them catch you. Okay? Release some of that tension. Release that. It ain't the retrograde. It's the fact that you ain't releasing nothing. Release some of that.
Good. I have had dudes chase me that ain't even had the cootie kitty cat, none of that, and they still chasing. How about that one?
Somebody can catch you, Loretta.
Let
somebody catch you.
No,
accept the drink.
She wants somebody
to
get her own drink. That's what she wants. She wants
and the money thing. The money thing.
I'm a woman who can stand.
The money thing. I try not to let dudes know I have money. Diva.
Yes, baby. Yes, baby.
I try not to let dudes know I got money because now they in my pockets. Nowadays, dudes are in your pockets. You're not in theirs. Usually that's how that go.
No, don't get it wrong. Don't get it wrong. I dated a dude who made in one pay stub, because he was a carpenter, 80 G's in one of his 8 pay stubs. And I didn't ask to see it. I didn't care. But he was one that I was like, oh, you're not gonna come around and open my car door? Is that what we're doing? Are you not going to open the door before I get in the car? Is that what we're doing? I demand a certain treatment. My son is being taught at 18 to walk on a certain side of the street of a female. When he's with his little sister, she's told, you don't open no door unless he's holding stuff. You better not touch that door. He is to walk on a certain side. I am raising a gentleman as a single mother. I can't teach him how to be a man, but I can teach him how to be a gentleman. I'm going to be clear about that. And when he does take his sisters out, even if his sister has more money than him, he does offer to pay something, okay? And he's the middle child. I'm gonna be very clear about that. My kids have always been taught to stand on their own as I've been taught. I'm not, when I say digging in their pockets, I'm like this. I can say, yeah, dude is offered and bought a drink with me standing right next to them, an $8 little tiny drink. And I'm like, no, I'm good. No, I'm good. Because then most dudes, not all, but some dudes will expect some shit from that. I'm good. No, thank you.
Y'all women are too strong. Y'all too strong. Sometimes y'all just too strong. Let a man be a man. Buy me a drink, man. Like I deserve that.
Destiny, let's be clear. I'm a strong woman, but I know when to be submissive to the right man. And the right man has to present himself to be submissive.
I'm the same way, but I know how to let a man be a man.
And I do too.
I'm not talking about my pocket. We talking about yours. I'm gonna need that drink.
Buying a drink don't make him a man. Buying a drink for me.
I'm gonna need him to start off treating me like a queen.
But queen is like a queen. I have had more fun on dates when a guy has spent $0. I have had more fun on dates when a guy has spent $0 but put more thought into it.
So Destiny, I have a question with that. Now you're saying that a man needs to buy you a drink to prove that he's a man. So
let him be a man.
So let him be a man. So if he doesn't buy you a drink, that's him not showing you that he is interested, right?
I'm not interested.
So you're not
about him. I'm not interested because
you're not interested because he's not spending money on you, right? So you feel that he should spend money on you.
It's not the money part. Because he could have bought me a water. It's not the money part. It's the fact that you are being a man and you are saying, since I'm taking some of your time and I'm trying to get to know you, at least I can do is say, hey, here's the drink. Are you thirsty? Do you want something?
So what you're saying? Let me have to pay a rental fee to talk to you. That's what you're making sound. I'm gonna have to pay a rental fee
to play
devil's down payment to talk.
No, to play devil's advocate on Destiny's side, okay. The bottom line is, it's to have the offer is not a bad situation. Okay. I am always quick to say thank you. No, thank you. I'll accept, even if a dude is in my eyes, yo, what up, ma? Excuse me? You know what I mean? Oh, you look good, ma. Thank you. Now I'll say thank you, but how they come after, you better come correct after that. That's how I think. You can let a man be a man and still not emasculate him. You don't have to be treated. Again, it goes back to being treated a certain way. To me, buying a drink is not equating to, I don't know. It's just, to me,
it's not about the drink. You're taking it too little. It's not about the drink.
I get what you're saying. It's the time thing. I get it. But you know what? I've had a dude write me, do a little bit of a gesture. For instance, okay, I had a guy I dated. I let him know in a conversation that happened months before that I had given my best friend a Christmas ornament. I'm into Disney. So I gave her a tree ornament at her tree trimming party. I didn't have a replacement. I didn't have another one. And what he did was months later, he replaced it for Christmas. It wasn't a lot of money, but it was the thought that went into it for me. It's always the thought. I'm a sapiosexual person. So if the thought ain't put into it, then I'm not interested. You got to put some thought into how you approach and how you want to spend time with me and how you want to take up my time and put any payment per se for my time exchange for any type of quote unquote payment. Put some thought into that. And it doesn't have to be any money involved for me. That's just me.
Les, your audio's out. Les, trying to say something. Again,
let me tell you something. If I'm sitting there, the man sitting there talking to me and no offer a drink to me, I'm gonna have a problem with that. Whether I not accept
you would hate me.
Excuse me.
Yes, thank you, Diva.
Y'all would hate me. I would buy 2 drinks and drink them in front of you and talk to you.
Oh my God.
I'm not too independent for that.
Why can't you have a conversation?
Let me
because we don't have nothing to talk about.
It's up to me whether I not accept it or don't accept it. But as the right thing to do, there's just certain things that man should do and woman should do. There are just certain things. Now, later on, if we do have a relationship later on, and I take you out for a drink and I offer to buy you a drink, but when we first get to know each other, it's just the courtesy thing to do for a man. Just
devil's
like a
advocate again.
for a woman. These
I'm
are
gonna
just
play that devil's advocate.
To be done. But I'm not saying the woman can't do it for the man either. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying
I was gonna say that.
Right.
I'm like,
I'm not saying that. But if a woman say I would never accept a drink from a man, me accepting a drink from a man does not affect me being independent. It's 2 totally different things. Damn, it's just a drink. It's not that serious.
No,
I'm gonna be honest. If I buy a drink, I want something.
Hello. You just made my point.
You got to give me something at the end of the night. If I buy you a drink, I'm gonna need something, son. You coming up off of something at the end of the night.
Destiny, quick question. Destiny, quick question.
Hold on. So you get some dick?
Why I'm buying you a drink? Like we done changed roles now. I'm in charge.
Destiny, quick question. What's your
coming up
definition
off of that? Believe that in the car.
Destiny.
Wherever.
Quick question.
You coming up off of that?
Destiny. What's the definition of a prostitute again?
Say it again.
What's the definition of a prostitute?
A happy woman?
Or it's someone that expects payment for services. So, my thing is,
somebody real happy and no tension, no stress. Y'all want to call me a prostitute? I'll be that. And guess what? I got more money than law allowed, and I still want what I want.
I'm not saying
don't come with me because I ain't trying to hear none of that.
That behavior though, like you just say that a dude gotta even buy you something.
As aggressive as you've been with me, okay, on here, let's put it out there.
I still am.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna accept it. I'm just saying this, devil advocate here. Making a scenario as aggressive as you are with me, and you're talking with me at wherever we are, and they're serving paid whatever. Should I expect you to buy me a drink?
I would buy you a drink.
No.
I would buy you a drink.
That's not what I asked you though. Should I?
If I'm interested, I'll buy you a drink.
That's not what I asked you. Should I expect it?
You should. If I'm in your face, you should. You should expect that. If I'm in your face, taking up your time, you should expect me to buy you a drink. And I am aggressive. It's just what I am. You know what I'm saying? Like
me being an aggressive female at times when I pursue a dude, and I'm to the point where I'm at the age where I let a dude know that I'm interested straight off the bat. I don't hide it. So with me being aggressive at times to a dude, if I approach a dude, then I'm going to be offering the drink? Is that what Should I be the one offering?
If you want him and you taking up his time, get that man a drink. He not good enough for a drink.
Walk away, and he can walk away at any time, just like a female can walk away at any time.
You talking about like after the drink? After the drink, then okay, you walk away. You walk away. But if I'm talking to you, okay, I'm gonna get you a drink if that's what it is. Yo, I date women too. I do that. You thirsty, ma? Like, you know, before we go dance or whatever we gonna do, you want a drink? Because again, I'm the aggressive person. I'm the in that type of situation. I would be the man, kind of. So I would do that to show you that
going off. We're focusing so much on this drink thing. It's like
not the drink.
It doesn't equate. Buying something for the other person doesn't equate their manhood or womanhood. And being independent, like how can you, like I read the comments and somebody was like, how can you say I'm quote unquote independent, but then flip it up and say, but I expect them to buy me something? It doesn't really go 100% hand in hand. It kind of doesn't, because if you're that independent and you got them bags on your own, why? Buy your own shit. Like
it doesn't mean you're gonna accept it.
Then what? Okay, so you want this man. So you want this man to buy you a drink, right? And it's bought. Let's say he comes over and he's sitting there and he offers to buy the drink. So you want him to buy the drink, but then don't expect him to pay for it? Does that make any sense?
No. Who's that thing?
He's gonna buy it.
A man buying a drink is not the same thing as paying for my rent or paying for my bills or paying for clothes on my back. It's two totally different things. A drink is a drink. It's not that serious.
It's not. No. Okay, that's just an example. That's just a small example. But there are men and females out there who feel like if a man or a female wants to be with them or really wants any of their time, they got to pay for it by paying a car note or getting their hair done, buying the outfit, spending all these. It could be anything from $5 to $2,000. It doesn't matter. But a lot of times there's an equation of dollar for time spent to mean that there's an affection or a want or desire to be with that person. That's bullshit. I was with a dude for 16 years. And when he bought me something that I really wanted out of he knew that I wanted. It was a sentimental thing, a sentimental thought put into it. My thing was, well, but we got bills. What the fuck? You could have spent that money on a bill and I would have been just as happy. Please spend that money on a bill next time. But I was appreciative. You see what I'm saying? And we were together for a minute. So my thing was,
I bought a guy a whole car. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Like off the showroom floor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not about it's the thought in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not about the money, because I could buy 10 million drinks. It's not about it's the thought that you are taking my time.
Is the man's time valuable? Do you think?
Huh?
Oh, y'all want to speak? Y'all want to put some testosterone in this conversation?
Slim, speak, Slim.
Oh, my fault, Slim. Oh, my apologies. Go ahead.
Don't get quiet now.
Is it Slim or is it Slick? Which one is it?
Slim.
Because we got both on right now. We got Slim and Slick. So
trying to get
Slim. No, the one Slim. The Slim.
Oh, so Slim. Okay, go ahead, Slim. Slim,
you don't have to if you don't want to.
I see that Slim in the chat said feminism or independent women killed chivalry. Y'all keep thinking that the protocols of courting is limited to one person. This is about the landscape in total, because everyone is affected on both sides. I can agree with that. But I don't think women specifically, I don't think independent women and feminism killed chivalry. Men did that on their own when they stopped doing it.
Oh, thank you. I'm with you on that.
Okay.
And
all right.
You know what?
I'm getting somewhere with that.
The chivalry doesn't buying anything. Chivalry can be just look up what the meaning of the word chivalry is, and it does not always equate to any type of monetary things being bought or paid for. It can mean opening a door. It can mean being protective of that woman. It could be pulling out the chair. It could be simple things. So chivalry has been dead or has been chipped away because of the generational teachings from the family. Because again, I teach mine on both. I have 2 daughters and a son. Oh, best believe, even though my oldest daughter has a girlfriend, she demands how she's treated. And she treats her girlfriend like some dudes. And I told my daughter's girlfriend, I said, damn, I need a boyfriend like my daughter. Shit.
Well, you know what? With that, we're going to have to put a pin on it right there. Because it's 10:51. We were supposed to have stopped at 10. We're gonna make this into a two-parter. We're gonna definitely have to talk about this. Unless Legend can get his audio working. You got audio, Legend? You don't have audio. Put your Bluetooth headphones on. Put your headphones on. I can't do sign language, so my sign language gonna be nothing but middle fingers. So I mean, you gotta, put your headphones on. Yeah. Right. I think you kind of kicked in. So for those of y'all, this is y'all first time. How y'all like the show? Since for those of y'all that's doing it for the first time.
Hey, I love the show.
The first time.
we done popped the cherry already. Had a good show.
You ready for my opinion?
Ledge, you got your audio?
I like the Diva.
I'm very honest in my opinion. Okay. The beginning part of the show kind of drag. If you need to bring that same flavor in the beginning like you do in the end, slow it down in the middle, but bring it up in the middle, in the beginning, and bring it up in the end. You know what I mean? Because somebody just coming in for the first time in the beginning, and they hear it, they be like, okay, and they're off, they're gone. You understand? You got to put people in there in the beginning as well. Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say?
I understand you.
Yeah.
You got me right? Yeah.
I understand you.
Okay. But overall, I had a good time though. I like debate. Well, I love the debate. Trust me. I was holding back tonight. I was holding back, you know what I mean? But I'm a big debater.
Me and Diva have the same birthday.
Same exact
that's
day.
Cool.
So we're kind of like alike in a lot of ways.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
But Legend and Icon, for you, I got my eyes on you too when it comes to debate. Yes.
Oh. Yes.
You missed the controversial episodes that we had. Trust me.
Yes.
Apparently, I got in some trouble a couple of weeks ago. Because I'm the innocent one of the show. I'm the one that.
No, you're not. You're sneaky.
I am really the innocent one of the show. I'm the centrist. I'm the moderator. So I got in some trouble. I don't know how. Some weeks ago, because I'm on everybody's side. I'm a centrist. I don't have an opinion because I'm the host. But yeah,
fuck out of here.
No. See you tonight, but you put your opinion in a question mark. So if you don't really catch, if not people not listening, they're not going to catch it. But I catch it. I catch how you speak. I know where you're coming from. I see you, James Brown.
He creates a dialogue with his opinions and his questions.
Of course.
That's the purpose, to create a dialogue.
Of course, I create the dialogue. I get people. See, my thing is that rather than force my opinions down anybody's throat, I suggest it, and then I want to see where y'all want to take it from there. Whenever I give an opinion, it's never so that you can automatically believe what I say. It's more so that we can discuss what I'm saying. I would never want anybody to just take my word for anything just because I say it. I want you to sit there and critically think about it first. That's why I always say it in the question.
I saw I was right.
That's how we get the extreme truth, baby. That's how we do it.
I'm also the innocent centrist one. I'm sticking with that.
I'm a therapist. I know what I'm saying.
Stop lying.
I'm an investigator, so I know what I'm saying.
That's okay. Been there, done that.
Yeah, I'm an investigator. So, Legend, you get your audio back. We got audio from Legend. Go ahead, bro. We got audio from you, kind of.
No, we can't hear you. Sorry, no.
You just had it. You lost it.
I already told you going to do sign language. You really
smoke signals. Legend go do smoke signals. But yeah, definitely we gonna bring this show back. Kind of. Yeah, just go ahead. Just talk. See if we can hear you.
Okay, I don't want to start saying shit if you can't really hear me.
You good? We can hear you. We can hear you.
A little bit.
I done forgot what the fuck I was gonna say. It took so long to get this shit working. So y'all go ahead.
Oh. No, really? All right. Well, I mean, we'll continue with it all next week. I had a lot of fun tonight, as always. We definitely plugged Destiny.
Yeah. Thank y'all for coming on. The ones that came off of me, I really appreciate that. Hopefully, I see y'all next week. We gotta do this again.
Destiny, I will buy you a drink because we cool now. But if we ain't
that's what I'm talking about, James. Buy me a drink, and if I buy you one, you in trouble, okay?
But you know that's cool. That's gonna be cool. But good luck. Good luck.
Get the Jimmy Bone.
Trust me, I named him by accident.
All right.
Just those guys.
Remember that. But for those of y'all that was on tonight, I appreciate y'all. I do another show on Saturdays. It used to be on Wednesdays called For the Rise, which is nothing like this one. It's not a lot of cursing. It's my journalist show. This week I got an episode called Bridging the Gap, African versus African American. So it's actually going to be my first show from Africa. So I'm going to have people from throughout Africa on my show. It's going to be Saturday at 8 p.m. And we're going to talk about misconceptions that Black Americans and Africans have with each other. And we're going to really try to blend that gap, bridge that gap between us. For those of you that have never seen my other podcast before, it's called For the Rise. It's a YouTube channel, For the Rise podcast on YouTube. And we've covered a lot of stuff that affects the Black community, depression in the Black community. I did an episode on financial planning, daddy issues and how they affect men. I did an episode on racial identity called Am I Black Enough? I've done episodes on molestation in the hood, depression, suicide. So, feel free to go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I promise you, it's not as much cursing as this one, but it's definitely a good show. I definitely welcome you all to come on and we can have real dialogue. And I can continue my whole innocence while I'm on there. But yeah, I really appreciate y'all for coming on. Anybody else got to plug anything before we cut it out?
So, Xtreme Truth Podcast on Instagram and on YouTube.
Yes.
And if you just want to see me on YouTube, James Icon Grant on YouTube and on Instagram, Icon 127. That's about it. Thank you for coming for Xtreme Truth, baby.
Facebook, which Icon keeps forgetting. So we are on Facebook as well. Definitely, click your likes, leave your comments, and on all our multi-platinums, I'm getting tongue twisted. I'm not even drinking. Platforms, right. Please make sure to subscribe, hit that bell for, any notifications that we might have. We definitely appreciate all of y'all, especially the new faces in the building. We hope you come back next week. We'll have some more for y'all.
Definitely. Just D.
I'm just a ball of energy. I ain't got what to say.
Thank you.
Check us out on all our platforms. I'm at DJ Just D NJ on IG. Those know my name. Just look up my name on Facebook. Not much. Hope to see y'all next week.
Definitely look forward to seeing y'all next week. Hopefully we should have an update on the High Five the Pussy t-shirts and the Shake Hands with the Dick t-shirts. They coming. Trust to believe they coming. I know y'all been asking us for them. They coming. So we will have the High Five the Pussy t-shirts. And the shit, for those of y'all that don't understand that, go back.
That's a whole other conversation.
It's a whole other conversation. But Destiny's clapping for a reason. But those shirts are definitely coming. We'll definitely have them out for y'all to purchase. So for me, Legend Damian Simmons, Just D, and James the Icon Grant, thanks for tuning in.
Law.